Actually start Royals, and not about the team as a whole. They did win a couple games this week, and it's more, as we've said, at this point, it's about individual performances, looking ahead to the future. This team, there's no point even bringing up the record or anything at this point. Jack Caglione, 3 weeks ago, we said, okay, he's kind of just figured it out. We said, but when's the power, when's the stardom start to show? Well, here we are, June 22nd. It's here, baby. It's here. 4 homers in his last 3 games, Bink. He has figured it out and some. And Bink, your computer again. This happens once a week, my man.
It didn't happen the last time.
You're killing me.
It didn't happen the last time.
You're killing me. I was just
because I didn't have time to shut it off.
I was just getting going.
I was just trying to shut it off. Go ahead.
I was just saying he's not only figured it out now. The power that we expect to see.
I was desperately trying to shut it off.
It is showing up, man. In June, he's got 7 homers and 16 RBI. He's hitting 379.
This last weekend, he's got 7 home runs.
He's been one of the best players in the American League.
Not 7.
He's been one of the best players in the American 100%. League this month. He really has. I know we got a couple more days left, a week or so here in the month of June. We'll see how it finishes out. But he legitimately, it is not hyperbolic to say, he's been one of the best, if not the best player in the American League this month. And one, it's just great to see, and we're now seeing the power. On the other hand, it frustrates you more that he wasn't in the lineup enough early. I had a friend text me yesterday. We were talking about Cags, because that's the only real fun, positive thing to talk about with the Royals right now is Jack Caglione. Bobby's hurt, etc. So, and the question we were going through is there a scenario where Jack Caglione can end up in the All-Star game as a home run derby participant? So I guess the home run derby, not the All-Star game. And I was like, okay, come on. At first I was like, stop. I was like, okay, we can be excited, but let's calm down. And then I looked into it. And I looked into the numbers. And you know what? He's got 12 homers. And if you go and you take a look at American League hitters, he's 23rd in home runs. But we know guys opt out. We know there's some injured players. Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, what's his name? Murakami. Those are 3 players that are hurt and likely not going to be available by the time you get to the All-Star game / home run derby. If Jack Caglione is anywhere near this hot still for another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, could he get to 18? Could he get to 15 home runs by the home run derby? Or I guess it needs to be a week or so before when they make that decision. I'm just saying it's not a 0% chance anymore. I would not put it at a 80% chance he's a home run derby participant, but I think there's a 40 to 50% chance that Jack Caglione could end up in a home run derby based on other opt-outs and based off of how hot he is right now as a hitter. Plus, if you're baseball, you want a young star promoted.
Well, the Cardinals series was nice for Jack, but Jack has shown up to the party. And my biggest frustration last week when I told you is, imagine Jack playing like this, with a healthy Bobby, with a healthy Vinny, with the lineup the way it was supposed to be, and you had this version of Jack Caglione. But it's why a guy rose up as the top prospect in Major League Baseball. He's arrived now. He should never sit. Just like Hosmer put out early on, he shouldn't be sitting. There's no way he should be sitting. The splits would even say he shouldn't be sitting at all. But Jack Caglione is fun to watch. I mean, this guy is fun to watch. This Royals team, they've been scoring runs. I don't know, he put a bunch of backups in there with Jack kind of carrying the way. But, the 14 runs the other night, the 10 runs yesterday, they're scoring runs. And Jack, this weekend, that was the reason to watch the Royals. Yes, it was Royals versus Cardinals, which is always fun. But 7 ribs. I mean, he was my two total bases yesterday. It was Jack.
There you go. Nice.
Well, he's had 13 his last 5, and you add more to that yesterday, but he's been insane. 7 RBIs, all the home runs. The 4 home runs he hit this series? Something like that. He's had 2, then 1.
4 homers in 3 games.
3 straight games. So it's been unbelievable to watch. But this is the player you wanted. This is the player you wanted to see. And not only that, hopefully this is a player you say, all right, this is one that we need to add pieces around, like a Bobby Wood Jr., now a Jack. Then you add the pieces around him. But yes, he's playing like the guy that you drafted. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, that has been awesome to see. And I think the scenario the rest of this season, as we've discussed with this team as a whole, it is all about Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione and Bobby Witt Jr. and any other young potential player that gets an opportunity. Not that I think necessarily he's going to be an answer, but heck, it is still even about finding out, is there anything there at all with Cameron Meisner? I don't think there's going to be, but you're trying to find out about those players and look ahead to the future. And yeah, I recognize that we're doing that in June. It sucks, but that's just the reality of where the 2026 Royals are at. But Jack Caglione, Bing, what percentage chance would you put that he ends up in the home run derby?
Where's he going to end up with home runs
I know,
by July 14th?
That's what's tough. He's at 12.
He's on a heater right now. I mean, you just added 4 this weekend. Where's Jack going? I mean, he's 3 straight games with a home run. Can he get to 15, 16, 17 home runs by the home run derby? Because we've seen guys.
I think he can get to 15. I think anything above 15 is tough.
We've seen guys in the home run derby with not as many home runs. Like the last couple of years, they have got guys that wanted to do it and step into that position. So there would be a chance only because they're moonshots when he hits them. I mean, his exit velocity is ridiculous, but this is like the perfect home run derby type of guy. And Major League Baseball understands that because he doesn't hit just home runs that barely go over. He hits moonshots.
Yeah, can you imagine the show he would put on?
Oh, it would be unbelievable. At least that would be something fun. At least. And I hate to get back to the Royals days where we're just excited to get somebody in the All-Star game or getting a home run, like when Hosmer hit his home run in the home run derby, and then the All-Star game, not the home run derby, and you get excited for these little pieces of the Royals, and they finally win it all, and you're kind of like, none of this other stuff matters. They actually won the World Series. So I hate to get back to that where you're just excited to get somebody in the home run derby, but we'll take what we can get, and he is a must-watch player. Jack's always been had that following here, but this is one of the top prospects in Major League Baseball, and he's playing like it, and it's fun to see. My only regret is it's not this version of Jack with the lineup the way it's supposed to be, minus the injuries. Not only that, but the pitching injuries that they've got as well. So that full team, and you throw this Jack into this group, it'd be insane.
Yeah.
How many home runs does he have right now?
12. He's got 12.
So Jazz Chisholm last year was the Derby, was the All-Star game in Yankee Stadium last year? Was it somewhere else?
Where was the All-Star game?
Was it L.A., the Dodgers?
So it wasn't in New York. That's all I'm getting to.
Okay. So I have to look it back up.
Jazz Chisholm had 17 homers prior to the All-Star break, and he was in the home run derby. I don't think it's going to take. I mean, if Kaggs gets to 15, he's more known for power than Jazz Chisholm is.
By the way, Atlanta.
Okay, so I feel like
it was in Texas the year before when Bobby was in it.
Yeah, but I think Kaggs can make it just off the standpoint that Jazz Chisholm was in it last year and he had 17 home runs and he's not known for homers. So I think that if Kaggs can get hot, then I think that it would stand out a little bit more than it, and maybe it might take some guys not to hit in it. But I think there's a decent chance just based on Jazz Chisholm only having 17 homers and being in the competition last year.
Yeah, I mean, and Byron Buxton was in it a year ago. Maybe he's somebody that decides just not to do it because he's already done. A lot of guys don't do home run derby 4 years in a row or 3 years in a row or anything like that. He's got to stay hot in order to get there. But the home run total, if he gets to 15, won't be a problem, right? Like if he gets to 15 and there's other guys in the 20s, I think there's still a chance that he could get showcased there because he wouldn't. I would imagine he wouldn't turn it down. So it's something to watch. Like honestly, now. This is the only part that for the next couple weeks that I'm going to really care about is how many home runs can Jack hit
with you
a week or so before the All-Star game, and is it enough to where he gets an invite to the home run derby? Again, I'm not selling you on he should be an All-Star this year. I think that's crazy, even though he's had an unbelievable month of June. But home run derby, that should be in play if he keeps it up.
Bobby Witt Jr. had 16 home runs when he was in the home run derby 2 years ago. And granted, he's playing for the Royals.
He was an MVP candidate that year, though.
He was, but he had 16 home runs at the All-Star break when he was in there. Now, granted, he's from that area, but he played for the Kansas City Royals. So you get that 15, 16 home run mark, which he can clearly get to. I wouldn't put it past him, man. Major League Baseball knows his power. They know what he can do. They talk a lot about him. So I don't know, man. That's his chance Jack gets in there.
So we'll keep an eye on it. One of the fun things to at least talk about when it comes to the Kansas City Royals. Tomorrow, I believe, we'll have the general manager of the Royals, JJ Picollo, join us here on Cody and Gold. All right, I want to get to the news this morning that happened right as our meeting pre-show was wrapping up, and we're like, okay, well, I guess we'll move some stuff around on the show a bit. And that is that Michigan men's basketball coach Dusty May is reportedly finalizing a deal to take the Dallas Mavericks head coaching job and leave for the NBA, coach Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks. And there were a couple other college names that were mentioned for this job. John Shire at Duke, the obvious connection. He coached Cooper Flagg. He decided not to leave Duke. That would have been an even bigger story, right, to leave Duke to go to Dallas. A couple things with this. One, just Dusty May won a national championship and then immediately going to the NBA. And what does that mean for Michigan and the transfer portal? Okay, there's that angle. here locally, let's start there because I think it's kind of interesting. Remember, guys, this was the name when we weren't sure if Bill Self was coming back, Drew. When you and I were talking about that with Cody, we weren't sure what the path was going to look like. And Jacques Vaughn, I still would say, would be the leader in the clubhouse. But Dusty May was the number one name on my list, and I think a lot of people's list. If Bill Self would have retired, hey, you got to make sure he says no to you. I know the NBA is different than going to another college job, but this tells me there would have been a real chance, Drew, that if he would have left, or retired, I'm sorry, that Dusty May, you would have been able to get him out of Michigan because there is a difference, I think, leaving Michigan versus leaving Duke. And clearly John Shire, who coached Cooper Flagg, wasn't willing to leave Duke. Dusty May's willing to leave Michigan.
I agree with that. I still think that if you won a national title there was no reason to leave and add more pressure to yourself by.
But he can come back and let's say he flames out in Dallas. I don't know what kind of NBA coach he's going to be. He might end up being awesome, right? We might be talking about him like Steve Kerr, 10 years from now, and he's won a title with the Mavericks, and him and Cooper Flagg are winning a lot of basketball games. That might be the case for Dusty May's sake. I hope that is the case. My dream scenario, this is me talking as a KU alum here, so you can tell me, okay, Gold, but is that he flames out in 2 or 3 years. Bill Self hangs on for another 2 or 3 years in terms of coaching at Kansas. And then he goes to Kansas then. But I don't think Self will be coaching 3 years from now.
Would you want him if he's been out of the game? If he's been out for 3-4 years?
What are their names, man? Like, what are their names? That's the issue that they had. This was the whole conversation we had back when it was thought that maybe Bill Self would have retired. And I'm glad he's back, and I hope he coaches another 2 years. But there's a real scenario where this is the last year for Bill Self. And then who are the names, guys? I mean, Jacques Vaughn would be the favorite because he's already there, but the names were, it was a short list to begin with because TJ Otzelberger, I don't think, is leaving Iowa State.
If I was Michigan, he'd be the first call. Are you kidding me?
Oh, you got to make him tell you no.
The NIL budget that you have at Iowa State is pennies.
Yeah, you got to make him say no, Drew. I agree with that.
It'd be Otzelberger. It would be Tommy Lloyd again. It would be Ben McCollum. It would be Schultz. It would be Todd Golden.
The same names.
It would be the same rotation of guys that's there now. And then there's always going to be some more up-and-comers who are at mid-majors that are getting hired by majors. I mean, Barry Odom over at Virginia Ryan Odom has done a great job over at Virginia. He, I think, would also be a smart call by Michigan at this point. So I think there's a plethora of guys that you still could call. College basketball is different because there's 368 jobs compared to 138, and even in 138 with college football, Alabama loses Kalen DeBoer. They're not calling on a vast majority of those positions anyways. I think Michigan and KU would have more of a pick of the litter just considering up-and-coming coaches that we see get hired at big-time programs all the time. So it'll be interesting. I think he's going to be I get it. I mean, we're seeing a lot more coaches either retire or move on, and I think that if you think to yourself, you get a new GM in Dallas who sounds like they're serious about building a roster that they want to keep and not get rid of. You have Cooper Flagg, who's the cornerstone. You've got good pieces in Dallas as well with, I'm not going to get too nerdy with it, but Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, Kyrie's still there technically right now. It's not the worst place to go if you're going to go to the NBA. So good for Dusty May. Hurts Michigan a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
Guy's going to leave.
It'll be interesting to see what they do now that it's not late enough where they could still hire somebody, but we're beyond the portal window. So them getting somebody with the ease of knowing they can go and have any player from the portal is not the case anymore.
Yeah, I'm not shocked at all. That gap between going pro and being a college coach with the mess that is the NCAA right now, that gap's never been smaller. So you always wonder, why someone jumping to the NBA at this point when they have that national title? Well, it's simple. In college football, I see the same thing. It used to be, guys would go try out to be an NFL coach, and it wouldn't work out for them, like a Nick Saban. They ended back in college football. But with college sports, college basketball pros, wouldn't you want to leave at this point with the way the name, image, and likeness is, the whole Brendan Sorsby situation, the NCAA can't figure out what it's doing, the transfer portal, everything else. I just see that gap between college and pro, and most guys saying, you know what, I don't want to screw with this, don't want to screw with the NCAA and these silly rules that are constantly changing and will change again here in the very near future for what you can do or can't do. I just think that gap of joining pros, because coaching in college is like coaching in the pros now when guys are getting paid. And then you always have that chance for another job back in college basketball once the NCAA gets things going in the right direction. I just see that allure for college coaches jumping to the NBA. And I think pro sports, they know it exactly. They can get whoever they want in college athletics because that gap does not exist like it used to between college and pros. It's very similar, especially on college football coaches. You have GMs now that run your college football program. It's what they do, and you're paying players. They can hop in the transfer portal until the rules get changed by Congress or whatever direction they're going to do. But you see the Brendan Sorsby deal, and that trickles to everything, college basketball, college football, whatever. What are the rules? Do we have rules in place, or do you jump to the NBA that has definite rules of what you can and can't do and make the transition much easier? I'm not shocked at all when pro teams take chances on college guys, especially in the NBA. It doesn't matter as much as football, or in college football. But, man, that gap just does not exist like it used to.
I get why the NBA team would take a chance on Dusty May. Like, I get why the Mavs want Dusty May. I'm saying
coming to pro football soon, too.
I think it's more of still always the question for me is why the successful college coach that has a national title that he just won, why does he want the pressure of going to the NBA where they'll fire you in a year and a half from now if you're not any good and you have no job security? Now, I get it. Everybody always wants a new challenge, right? And Dusty May wants to prove himself.
And he knows the jobs will be there in college.
And if he flames out in 2 years, if it's that bad, and I don't think he's going to,
they'll want him.
Then he'll be in line for one of the, I mentioned, KU or whatever. Like, he'll be in line for one of the top jobs in America too. So why not? He's young enough. You take the risk. I get it. It's just interesting. Some coaches want to have that challenge. Other coaches, like look at TJ Otzelberger. He could have a much bigger job than Iowa State. I actually think he's pretty comfortable at Iowa State. I don't think he's jumping to Michigan.
It could be, or do you think some coaches look at the fact that maybe the NCAA will get its act together, in 1 or 2 years? Because they should. I mean, there's new rules coming to the NCAA, but right now it's an absolute mess. So maybe a coach just look at the situation and say, I'll go back to college basketball when it gets its act together and rules are in place. And I think that's the allure for college coaches going pro. Until the NCAA gets their act together, hey, we'll just go spend 1 or 2 years, whatever it is.
It's
I'll
a
get
certain
back
type
to
of
college
job, though.
eventually.
It's not, like you're not like if I don't know if the Wizards fired whoever they have as their head coach, I forget his name. You're not going to Washington. Like you're not. That's not. That's
let
not
me tell you this scenario though. Mitch Johnson at San Antonio, we all thought he got outcoached. If the Spurs are an early exit next year in the playoffs,
I don't think he's
gone.
Yeah, I don't think the Spurs would go after a college coach, but yes.
I mean, who knows? I guess why would you? I mean, why would we say any franchise in the NBA wouldn't go after a college? I mean,
Spurs culture is just different. I think.
But it didn't work with Mitch Johnson. If they don't, in this hypothetical, if they're an early exit next year, I would say, well, it didn't work with Mitch Johnson.
It's hard to say it didn't work. They won 62 games this year, so I think that it's hard to say.
But you and I both know it's the NBA, Drew. No, if you have a player like Wemby and you don't get
the Spurs are different.
Yeah,
the Spurs are totally different, I think, than everybody else. I think there's something about the Spurs where they would either hire internally, they'd go get Charles Lee from the Hornets, who was a Spurs assistant, who's done a great job in Charlotte. To me, I don't think they might call people, but I think the Spurs would go get Charles Lee from Charlotte.
If you're just saying they're different on the, I guess we're talking about two different things. Are you saying they're different that they want to hire a college coach, or that they're different that they wouldn't fire Mitch Johnson if they're an early exit?
We're talking about college coaches getting hired, so yeah, I'm talking about them. If they fired Mitch Johnson, I don't think they're going to.
But I made the comment, and fine, I apologize for the confusion on that part. I agree with you there. You're saying though that I said if Victor Wembanyama, having a player like that, if they miss the finals next year, you're telling me they would not fire Mitch Johnson.
I mean, it's hard to say. If they lose in the Western Conference Finals, then I don't.
It's the NBA, man. He can be fired tomorrow.
No, I know. I totally understand, but I think the Spurs are different. And we also see, by the way, the coaches that have been fired, how it's worked out for them. And the Nuggets are worse now than they were. The Grizzlies are much worse than they were, and they fired the coaches in the same situation but the example that you're using,
right? I'm not saying it works, Drew. I'm just saying that teams do it all the time. I'm not arguing whether or not the track record it's a smart decision to do it. I'm saying the NBA fires coaches every damn year, all the time.
I understand, but I'm not. A lot of times it's the bad teams, though. And the good teams, if they do fire them, the track record has been they get worse.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I can give you one example. The Knicks fired their coach. They won a championship the next year.
Correct. I don't know, man. There's some teams that, hey, look at the Vegas Knights fired their coach with 8 games remaining in the season. They made the Stanley Cup.
No, I totally get it. I just don't. I think the Spurs are different, and you look at the majority of the examples, and I would be hesitant to say they fire somebody after they made it to an NBA Finals and then a Western Conference Finals. That's all I'm saying. And if they did fire him, they'd go after somebody in the NBA.
We'll see.
I don't know, man.
I agree with you more on the college part. I get that's much tougher to imagine any team for sure going college because that's a one coach's cycle thing. But as far as coach getting fired the next year after being in a final, it happens all the damn time in sports. That's not that rare.
Or getting ready to
if they were going to fire Mitch Johnson, I would say they would have fired him. They would have fired him earlier, in my opinion. Because Mitch Johnson's been there for a little bit now. It hasn't been like this is his first season. He's been there for 3 years now. And they stunk the last two, with Wemby last year as well, by the way. And then this year they finally turned it around. I would be very surprised if they didn't make it to a finals and then they just fired Mitch Johnson unless they knew they could get somebody that was better than him, which I don't know if that's any guarantee.
We can move on from the NBA, but in fairness, the year before he didn't get fired properly also because Wemby played in half the games because he had the blood clot thing. But that would be a bit of a
I understand,
free
but the
pass.
team was bad.
Yeah, but he missed. I wouldn't fire the coach when I had my best player miss. Victor Wembanyama miss for half the season.
Yeah, but if you're a good coach, you win even without your superstar, and I think that can be said across the NBA. We see good coaches all the time coach well without superstars. Charles Lee being one of them in Charlotte.
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody knows anything about Charlotte, so I can't really comment on it. They're irrelevant.
Hey, in certain sports, man, you just have to get used to it. The NBA is one of them. They can fire you even right before the playoffs.
It is a lot more like soccer.
Well, we've seen World Cups coaches fired already.
That didn't work for them either. They fired the Tunisia coach, and then what's his name took over, and then they got their ass kicked again.
That's early.
Who knew that wasn't going to work?
But the NBA and NHL, they just don't care, man. Baseball and football let you a lot longer.
So we'll keep an eye on what happens with the Michigan job now, I guess. That was how we got into this conversation to begin with. Dusty May leaving Michigan, going to go take the job with the Dallas Mavericks now, and Coach Cooper Flagg with extremely, extremely high expectations. We have not seen any of the dollar figures come out. I think they're finalizing the deal still. And then who transfers out of Michigan too? What coaches are now going to poke around? They have to wait 5 days, and then they can start going.
Yeah, like the text line says, in the college ranks, you fire the coach, the players are free to walk. Well, it's true, but
window.
they're free to walk now anyway.
Yeah, they have to wait 5 days, and then
5 days,
days.
then they get 15.
But yeah, I mean, somebody's going to leave Michigan. I don't know.
So whether you fire them or they taking their job, they're still free to go.
Because what was Michigan's I don't know. What was Michigan's recruiting class this year? It could have been terrible.
Oh, I'm sure it was fine.
I'm sure it was a top 20-something class or at least in the country. So what school has an open scholarship or can create an open scholarship?
They were second overall.
Poaching
freshman.
So second overall. So some of those guys are clearly going to leave, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of coaches
if
right now.
If I was Michigan, their best chances either is probably promoting within, at least for this year, and trying to hold down the fort.
Just do what's his...
keep your recruits.
Yeah.
Because right now there's coaches across the country looking at Michigan's roster making phone calls.
I guess to your point, Drew, which one of those assistant coaches was heavily involved in the recruitment of like the best player in the freshman class and has a good relationship with him?
And it's in the summer too.
Keep him
so
happy.
It's easy to move now. Very easy.
Yeah, it's just late in the game. I mean, we're almost in July.
At least it's summer still.
Mike Boynton Jr. is probably the head. He's probably the next one.
The former Oklahoma State coach is there. He's on the staff.
Mike Boynton is there.
So maybe they just promote him. He's got head coaching experience. That's a hell of a step up for him. And if he does a good job, all of a sudden he can find himself a year from now as the permanent.
Williamson's the director of player development. I think he might have been at Loyola Chicago previously, potentially. Maybe not. Anyways.
So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see the trickle-down effect. Up next, let's talk some soccer, Bink. USA
Michigan has some interesting things that athletic department, but go ahead.
Up next, let's get to some soccer a little bit. U.S., of course, already wrapped up their group. What does that mean for Thursday? And I know both of you were locked into an event that took place yesterday that featured a pretty cool moment as well in golf.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in for the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day, starting at 11:30 right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Even if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you keep your bet alive and it keeps you in the action for even longer. So now you're in it until the final whistle. The Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. This summer is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even better with our friends over at FanDuel. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the same page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically will transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer for the World Soccer Championship with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more. Getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
I hope you are sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and is 30 to 60% lower cost than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you're a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Matt B. and KC for an instant quote over the phone. 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
High energy bills? Can't get cool enough? Your HVAC system could be the reason. Save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Smart homeowners know an old air conditioner can cost you more every month. Don't let it drain your wallet. Upgrade to efficient, reliable comfort with payment options that fit your budget. Put your trust in over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
Designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
Windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Join us at 96.5 The Fans World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut on State Line, June 25th with the drive starting at 2 and kickoff at 9. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933.
This report is brought to you by Rawhide Harley-Davidson.
Rawhide Harley is giving NADA retail value when you trade your bike for a new Harley this week. 100% of all credit applications considered. Rawhide Harley's retail trade value for your bike ends this Sunday. Adjustments made based on reconditioning and mileage. Any negative trade-in equity may be applied to new financed on approved credit.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
All right, just getting started on a Monday. Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Drew Nixon, Jay Binkley with you. Coming up in about a half hour, we'll get into the NFL, including a big shift perhaps happening with officiating. And I think this is a great idea, actually, for once, when it comes to the NFL and that. We'll get to that in a little bit. You guys can always chime in, 913-586-7965. Don't forget to join us at 96.5 The Fans World Soccer Headquarters, The Peanut, on State Line. That's coming up this Thursday, June 25th. The drive will be starting things at 2, kickoff at 9. We'll be giving away coolers, prizes to those in attendance, presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933. Let's talk a little soccer, then we'll get into something I know you and Drew were both locked into yesterday, and you had an interesting angle on whoever actually won. We'll get to that in a bit, but
I get it, Alex. There's a bunch of sports going on yesterday.
It was a
huge,
jam-packed weekend. Father's Day weekend, a lot going on. You do anything for Father's Day or anything?
No, just with the kids
or anything.
And stuff.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Father's Day. It was fun. It was a great sports day for dads, and it's great.
Yeah, I just was this. I've told you this Father's Day run we've been planning or whatever. Ben Heisler, who you know as well, we planned this Father's Day run, and it ended up actually starting only like 15 minutes late. But when we were setting up at 5 a.m. yesterday, just a complete torrential downpour. That part wasn't good. By the time the run started, it actually ended up working out, and then it ended up being a great day. They made it seem like it was going to be like a washout yesterday, and ended up being perfectly fun.
How many miles did you go?
I didn't. Organizer. Keyword organizer. I did not run.
I thought you organized and ran.
No. I did not run in the 5K. I just helped organize the Father's Day run. Anyway, U.S. Soccer, man, on Friday night, that was the big story. Locked in, or Friday afternoon, I'm sorry. I was locked in to that.
Watch party, baby.
You guys had a great time, I know, over at the Peanut. The U.S. wrapped up its group later on that night based on results elsewhere in the group. And so, one, it's the first time they've won consecutive World Cup matches since 1930, which is crazy. I know U.S. Soccer has struggled, at least on the men's side, but I didn't know that was the case. Did you know that? Since 1930, they had never won consecutive matches. They would win and draw, or draw and lose, or whatever. Like, that's crazy.
Didn't know it was for consecutive. Had no idea. And you did it without your best player, which that was the news before the day. It's like, all right, it's go time. That's an incredible feat to win it without your best player with ease like they did.
Against Australia, another own goal to start the match. That's happened in both. But you got to put your opponent in that position. And I agree with you. The fact that Pulisic did not play and the U.S. once again was aggressive and clearly looked like the better team, was a really positive sign. And now they have the luxury. They have everything wrapped up in group stage. It does not, the game on Thursday, other than momentum and vibes, doesn't mean anything. They're already in to the next round. They already won the group. Their opponent, Turkey's already eliminated. They're just playing for country pride as well. And that is something, but there's nothing standings-wise that's up for grabs. So now you can potentially just rest Pulisic again, right? Make sure he's healthy for the
rest your players.
Do you think they play him for?
I think they should.
For I don't know, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that.
It'd be 18 days. Yeah. 18 days.
Just to keep him conditioned is what you're kind of saying, Drew.
I would play him
as a reserve. Like comes in for some.
There's
time.
no reason for him to play the full match though, if he plays at all.
Now, what's the deal with the yellow cards? Like, if you have a yellow card, I know it carries over 2 games, but if you don't play those players in that game, do they reset?
Yes.
They reset before round 32, correct?
Yes, and then they reset before the quarterfinals as well.
Okay, so that would reset.
So if you get
2 in the group stage, then you're obviously would be suspended though in the first knockout round game.
So your yellow card guys, if they did play, they could still get suspended for round of 32 if they got another one.
For the yellow cards, yes. Now, if it's a red, it's obviously different. You're automatically suspended the next match.
So if you have a yellow card right now, you should not be playing on Thursday.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Just chill out.
There's no reason, and I don't know I'd have, how many players qualify for that, but yeah, I mean they get the luxury to play this however they want on Thursday.
I would be hesitant, and I would start almost the same starting 11 that I have.
Just cut the minutes if you can with some. I know you can't sub out everybody, but
correct.
But the key players or whoever you're working. If anybody else has other ailments we don't know about, they can be cautious.
So the resets are after the group stage and after the quarterfinals. So it doesn't matter whether you get a yellow or not in the next match.
So it wouldn't have mattered. It would have correct. They wouldn't be suspended then.
Correct. But if you get a yellow if you get a red in the round of 32, you're suspended round of 16. Like the way that
problem.
Yeah,
that's a huge problem at that point in time. We were talking about this before the show, trying to figure out their potential path. People are getting excited because it's favorable for them. It doesn't guarantee anything, but it sure looks like the U.S. has a real opportunity to go on a deep run here. What's the latest bracket? So the BBC puts out a live bracket based on current standings. And there's a match that's going to start here at noon, by the way. We'll keep an eye on
Argentina and Austria.
So we'll see Messi again.
Oh, Messi, baby.
But right this second, the live bracket has the U.S. playing on July 2nd in the knockout stage against Ecuador, who we just saw on Saturday here in Kansas City. Maybe you were at that match. We'll talk about the second KC match a little bit later on. That would be that path to start, and then potentially they would play the winner of Egypt and the Czech Republic. Egypt, of course, had a huge win last night. 3-1, I think, was the final. And that path then would maybe lead you to a match against Spain if everything held on that. That's your path to the quarterfinals.
It's laid out, man. It's laid out for Micah Ruzioni, the spirit of Micah Ruzioni, the 1980 Olympic hockey team, man. It is right there. I mean, look at the WBC, made it all the way to the gold medal match, win in hockey. It's right there, man. I think the betting on USA to get to the finals, win it all, man. Just believe, man. Believe.
Win it all is
believe, man.
It would be bigger than them. It would be bigger than the Miracle on Ice if they did it. It would be much bigger than that if they did that.
That was pretty big, man.
It would be much bigger than that if they
I don't
won the
know,
World
man.
Cup. Yes, it would be.
I think the part that's hard to weigh in that statement that I don't know the answer to is the historical significance other than sports with what happened in the Miracle on Ice, right? Yeah. With the Soviets, like that. There was stuff happening in the world also. Now, maybe the U.S. ends up playing Iran on the way here to the World Cup, and that becomes a much bigger match because of everything that's going on.
Be a fun match
as well. I don't know, but the odds for the U.S. to win have been cut in half. They were 60-1 pre-tournament. They're now 30 to 33-1, depending on what sports book you look at. So
we should all buy tickets on USA winning it all.
I'm not going to do that.
I will not.
You can go ahead and do that, Bink.
I think, though, I'll tell you this. I might do it. I don't think the semis are out of the question.
I might do it.
Now, they might have to play Spain in the quarterfinals, but I do not think the semis are out of the question. If you thought to me this team was going to lose in the round of 16, I did. To me, it's okay to I thought it was a round of 16 exit. I think they're going to go further than the round of 16 now. The path sets up really nicely. Now, Tim Howard, one of the great goalkeepers, of course, in U.S. men's national team history, was talking about the U.S.'s chances.
If they play the way they're playing, they can absolutely compete against any team in this World Cup. Can you do it 4 times in a row? Can you do it in a round of 16, a quarter, a semi, and a final? That is where it gets really hard.
The U.S. cannot unequivocally win the World Cup. The U.S. will have to play the greatest game they've ever played 3 3 times in a row. Sorry, 4 games in a row. Round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. It is literally impossible for the U.S. to win the World Cup. That's going to come across crazy. People are going to say I'm whatever. That's just the reality. But we're super excited for this ride we're on.
To say it's literally impossible or they have no unequivocal chance or whatever, that's a bit much. I don't think they're winning the World Cup either. But to say that they can't play 2, like can they play 2 really high-quality matches in a row and get to a semi? I think it's possible, and I definitely think the quarterfinals are in play. That path to get to the quarterfinals is soft.
We're talking about winning it all, though. I agree. I think I will never see the U.S. win a World Cup in my lifetime.
Is there an argument that this is their best chance based on the path and the fact that they're going to be playing in L.A. and Seattle and then ultimately in New York City?
I think it is their best chance because they're hosting. I mean, it certainly helps, but I mean, it would be the biggest upset that I've ever seen in my life, for sure, if they did win it. Hands down, it would be bigger than anything I've ever seen. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they're good enough to string it together against the quality that they haven't faced any.
They haven't faced any
true quality yet. So I mean, as good as they've looked,
but they're not going to have to. I guess is my argument. I know we're talking about winning it all, so that's what you're saying. But like when he mentions how they got to play 4 amazing matches in a row, I would argue maybe only 3. Maybe only 2, depending on the path, not 4.
If they end up playing Egypt, I mean, Egypt would be the best team, arguably the best team that they face. But
that's winnable. That's not France. That's not Spain. They're going to be
the favored team in the round of 32, aren't they?
What's that?
They'll be favored in the round of 32.
Yeah, I think that was, yes.
Yeah, the potential path, they would play first knockout stage Ecuador, if things hold. Then the winner of Egypt in the Czech Republic, so likely Egypt. But it's all, I mean, I don't have to tell you, Drew, you know more about soccer than I do. Like, it's not insane to think that an upset can happen. At all.
No.
Weird things happen. Somebody all of a sudden gets a red card, somebody makes a mistake in the penalty box, and all of a sudden you got a PK. Like, weird crap happens. Handball. The U.S. has had 2 own goals in their favor already. I mean, weird stuff happens.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever going to happen.
I would not bet on them winning either.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't think it's ever going to happen in my lifetime. Like as much as I love Flo Balogun, as good as Christian Pulisic is, as I think actually the best player in this whole tournament has been arguably Tyler Adams or Chris Richards. Chris Richards is setting records right now. So as great as they've all been, I don't know if it came down to it and they had to face a top team in the world, a top 10 team in the world, if they're getting past that. And they might have to face, based on how the bracket folds, they're going to have to face one in the round of 16 or in the quarters, which...
I think it'll be the quarters.
If they can get to the quarters, then that automatically is something better than what we were expecting anyways. And that's something when we had Glenn Davis on last week said if they can make it to the quarters or somehow a semi, then they reset the standard for American soccer going forward. And I think that is a massive win for the sport of soccer in this country as it pertains to potentially getting to a point where they can win a World Cup down the line. But for this year, I don't think it's cool to be a part of it and be on the bandwagon, but I don't think it's possible.
Well, we think they're already going to get to the quarterfinals. You get to the quarterfinals, man, everything's out the window, right?
But that's when when you start getting, Spain.
I understand that, but that's when
Brazil
you play the team that's been favored to win the tournament this whole time.
I'm saying, man.
And then if you win that, then you play England or France. The quality's too good with those other teams. But
15 Royals, people took a chance on them. They end up winning it all, man.
I understand. And the way that they've played with
baseball,
with
those are best of 7 series.
I'm just believing, guys. I'm just believing, man.
No,
Call me a homer. That's fine.
No, I mean, I think you probably should be a homer in this. But in terms of them actually being able to do it against the quality that they'd have to face, I don't think if they try to play the same style that they do, though, that might play into the favor of other countries who are better quality, more efficient, and all the other things that they haven't faced.
Yeah, look,
so someone called me a homer the other day when I was with Logan Friday because I was talking about best events to happen at Arrowhead, like single individual performances because of what Messi did. And I was like, well, that 7-sack game of Derek Thomas, 1 month later, Warren Moon put up an NFL record, 527 yards passing, and someone says, well, that's a homer take. So how's that a homer take? He played for the Houston Oilers when he put up the most passing yards ever.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah. No, it was just funny that I brought up Warren Moon and everybody's, Warren Moon with the Chiefs, Warren Moon with the Oilers.
The semis are not impossible. I think the quarters are very realistic. If you want to know what the betting markets say, by the way, to reach the quarterfinals, the U.S. plus 110, which if I would have told you that pre-tournament, you'd be like, wow, you wouldn't want to bet it at plus 110 now. But point is, The quarterfinals are feasible. I mean, Argentina has better odds to do that, of course, France, England, Spain, Portugal. But then it's the U.S. with the same odds as Portugal to get to the quarter, not to win it, to get to the quarterfinals. And then ultimately to get to the semifinals, the United States right now sitting at plus 460. Those aren't crazy odds.
You're rocking the jersey. You got the Team USA jersey.
No, not today.
Keep that rolling. Well,
I did on Friday. On Friday. Well, you said you're rocking the USA jersey. I said, no, I'm not.
No, when
not
they
today.
play, you're rocking it.
Well, of course.
It's good luck for you.
Of course.
Good luck.
Yeah, I have to keep
wearing it.
Undefeated so far.
Keep wearing.
A clean slate.
Drew and I need one.
Forward. I would love to see Bink. I would love for you to be rocking a USA soccer jersey.
Yeah, no numbers.
It doesn't have. Well, these don't. Mine doesn't have a number. They don't unless you pay for the ones with a player name, which are very expensive. If you go to a lot of the watch parties, most people that have the USA jersey, the back is blank. I mean, you can buy a Pulisic or a McKinney, or whatever, or McKenzie, or whatever. But McKinney. Why am I screwing that up?
Yeah, McKinney.
You could buy that jersey if you want, but it's going to cost you a lot more.
Yeah.
I'd rather just not have the name on the back, especially because I want to be able to wear this jersey like 4 years from now, possibly as well.
If it's an international team, I'm more likely to get the name on it just because
you are. Oh, you feel like they're sticking
unless
around.
you bought a Messi one, he's been in 6 World Cups.
Wow, years. Yeah, if you see anybody,
his nationality is not changing. He's always going to be Argentinian. That's
he's not going to hit the transfer portal.
He's not a dual national. He's always been
transferring countries.
He's not going to hit Brazil next time.
Yeah, I don't think he's transferring. I don't think that's how that works. Thinking of some of the cool moments that's happening during the World Cup. I don't know if you guys saw this went viral. So we know that every country and their fans that are traveling throughout this World Cup, there's been some really cool stories and experiencing the food of that particular city. Well, Japan was playing in Houston, or down in Texas, I should say. Maybe, I don't know if they were in Dallas or Houston. I can't remember. I think it was maybe Dallas. And they were trying out Texas barbecue, as you would, right? I mean, if anybody comes to Kansas City, you're going to try Kansas City barbecue.
Of course.
Listen to the video is actually so much better, but this was a Japanese fan trying Texas barbecue.
Rob, how big is that?
Oh my. Bite. First bite, man. That's your first ever bite of Texas barbecue. What do you think?
Amazing!
Hey, that's a shark.
I love it.
So, it's been cool to see somebody we'll get to it when we talk about the U.S. The Kansas City World Cup match in about 30 minutes. There was an Ecuador fan eating barbecue in Kansas City that was interviewed. That was pretty funny as well. Everybody seems to be having a great time, getting intertwined with different cultures and different communities, and it's been awesome. I know everybody here's fired up for Thursday. Drew and I have been talking about it for weeks now, about the Netherlands match on Thursday and the march that's going to happen on Thursday afternoon too.
Well, they love the Hall of Honor. There's a ton of videos are coming out with the fans, international fans, are seeing the Chiefs Hall of Fame. Like they're walking down there, seeing the videos and everything, the World Championship trophies, the Mahomes jerseys, you name it. They love the Hall of Honor for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs are getting a lot of run there at Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah, because they've watched Mahomes play from afar, and now they're right there in the stadium that he played in. It's the same reason why when you travel anywhere, Bank, you go to another city, you want to try their food, you want to, if you're into sports, you want to see where the Dodgers play or whatever it may be, or in another country. If you go to London, you obviously, if you're a sports fan, you might want to go see an EPL game and go see Man City or Manchester United or whatever. Like this is what they're doing, but we're doing it right in our backyard.
Well, Team England went to the K.
Yeah,
their
coach threw out the first pitch.
Yeah. So England was at the K, and they did well.
All right, let's talk a bit about something that you guys were locked into yesterday. Admittedly, I did not watch any of this, but I saw the clips and some cool moments from Wyndham Clark at the U.S. Open, who won the U.S. Open, and it was on Father's Day, as we all know, and this was pretty special.
So glad you could be here. I'm so proud of you. That was the toughest round you've ever played. And you were such a warrior. Thanks. I'm so proud of you. Thanks, Bosh. I'm glad you could be here.
Embraced his dad. His son, Wyndham, did not know his dad was going to fly in. His dad flew in overnight to get there for the final round and surprise him at the end on Father's Day. That was awesome. I did see that. I did not watch the tournament, though. You thought that Wyndham Clark is good for golf?
I think Wyndham Clark is great for golf because golf's got that. They've got the guy now to people. That middle line, whether you love him or hate him, and they've got to that because the weird thing is you never see fans really boo players, at majors. They just don't. It just doesn't happen. And then guys yelling, "Get in the bunker!" as soon as he hits, and they kicked him out. I mean, the fan base was clearly going for Scotty Scheffler. Why wouldn't you? Scotty's a very likable guy. It was his 30th birthday, and he had a chance at the career Grand Slam. But Wyndham was not only fighting that course, he was also fighting the fans against him. At the end, he says, well, the New York fans didn't like me, but I love New York fans, or something like this. But it's rare when you see as tough as that course was, because it was extremely, extremely tough. So he's fighting that. He's fighting the jeers of people. He's getting to the tee box just knowing they're going to be yelling after it. But they got their bad boy that they wanted. And this carries over to what he did at Oakmont last year, and wearing the Jack Hughes jersey up in Canada at the Canadian Open.
That's awesome.
At the
that is awesome.
It is awesome. But he's that bad boy they want. I loved it. I loved seeing Wyndham do this, because with everybody
is he a big enough
against him,
name, though? Is he a big enough name to take on that full-blown role?
He's on a roll right now. He's on an absolute roll right now, and he has won 2 majors since 2023. I mean, you've won the U.S. Open twice since 2023, so you start getting into that echelon. But, yeah, it's not a name like Scotty Scheffler, obviously, like that. But they got their bad boy that wins major tournaments. And his last 3, he's been great. He's won 1. He's been Wyndham Clark. Yeah, of course, when you get on that stage when you win the U.S. Open like you did in 23. But now it's 2 of them for Wyndham Clark, and they got their bad boy, and people are jeering him when he goes out to different golf tournaments. I think the PGA finally got what they've been wanting, is a bad boy that's really good.
I mean, he's either won the U.S. Open or he's not played that well, actually, ironically enough, if you look at his history.
Well, he's playing well lately.
I don't think he's good enough to be that, I guess. I was not rooting for Wyndham Clark. I've been so locked in on the soccer. I'd watched sparingly over the course of the 4 days, but...
Yeah.
Well, he's ranked 8th in the world now.
It felt like he... Yeah, I think it's... I know it's more recency bias with the world rankings, but I'm hesitant to say that he's the bad guy, the poster child for that with the PGA Tour. He's not good enough, I don't think, to be considered that, at least right now. I don't know if golf needs one, though. I think that if people are going to be rooting on Scotty, obviously, and looking ahead to the Open, but golf's in this weird spot right now where there's not, it's Scotty and it's Rory and then kind of everybody else. But I don't know if they need a bad guy necessarily, to draw eyeballs. Is that what you're saying along the lines of? I don't know if that's
to have a guy like his last 4 tournaments. The Byron Nelson, he won. Then the next week he finished 3rd at the Memorial, Canadian Open 11th, and he finishes 1st in the U.S. Open. He's on a heater right now. He's playing extremely well. He's got himself up to 8th in the world golf rankings, and he's won 2 majors since 2023. Yeah, I mean, that was what he did was insane. That course, as tough as it was, to go out there and have the crowd against you in the United States, impressive. Being an American player, that was tough. I mean, battling the course is one thing, but battling the fan base as well, that was tough as well. I give Wyndham Clark a ton of credit for winning that yesterday. Hits this amazing putt at 16. That
was the one that kind of won him the tournament, probably, right there. That's the one that did it.
It did. It made the difference, him going into the extra holes with Sam Burns.
And Sam Burns didn't take as full advantage of the opportunity. Scotty couldn't get going the way that we kind of were hoping he would be, or thinking that he might be able to. But I mean, obviously, it's the U.S. Open. It's going to be extremely tough, anyways. They're going to after the way the first 2 days went. Wyndham Clark also. The thing that's interesting about golf before we go to break is that he was on the good luck of the weather, and sometimes golf plays into that, where guys who were in the morning on Thursday, afternoon Friday, they had to deal with a little tougher conditions than the guys that were afternoon Thursday and then morning on Friday, which sometimes that's just luck of the draw more than anything else. But it comes down to who takes advantage of it the most.
But it's that fear factor, too. Like, all of a sudden, your final pairing, you're with the number 1 player in the world. You're with Scotty Scheffler. You have the lead at the U.S. Open, and you're playing against the guy that everybody wants to see win, who's the number 1 ranked player in the world.
He was trying to give it away after 9.
Jeering you. I don't know. It was incredible.
He was trying to give it away after 9. He went 3 over on the first 9. He was trying.
Wyndham was finding himself in some tough spots and just kept making shots.
Was epic on Saturday with scrambling.
So Wyndham Clark wins the U.S. Open. We got one more major left here in the calendar year, the Open Championship. No surprise, by the way. Scotty Scheffler, the favorite, along with Rory McIlroy. Wyndham Clark, 27-1. He's got the 12th or 15th best odds to win that. Completely different tournament.
He's on a heater, gold betting.
And everything. Up next, guys, let's get to the NFL. Could we have something finally happen with holding NFL officials accountable? And If you were at the World Cup match on Saturday, we'll take your text on that as well, because I want to talk about how things went for match 2 in KC, including an Ecuador fan talking about eating barbecue in KC.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Wednesday at 12:30. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
This 4th of July, light up the night with Freedom Family Fireworks. We're family owned and packed with the biggest deals of the season. Get buy one, get one free specials. Grab the Godfather assortment for just $5.99 and get free Excalibur shells when you spend $250 or more. With locations in Liberty, Lee Summit, Pleasant Hill, Cameron, Chillicothe, and our air-conditioned superstore at Highway 291 and 210 just before the Missouri River. Visit freedomfamilyfireworks.com. Then stop by your nearest Freedom Family Fireworks location today. While supplies last, see store for details.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this.
We've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
As World Soccer hits the big stage, Fanatics Sportsbook is making every game day worth more. Earn up to 10% fan cash on your soccer bets, win or lose. That's real extra value you can unlock every match, all tournament long. And fan cash isn't just for betting. You can use it anywhere in the world of Fanatics. On game tickets, merchandise, collectibles, profit boosts, and more. One ecosystem, endless ways to spend. Plus, new customers get up to $1,000 in fan cash. That's $100 bet matched every day for your first 10 days. The world is ready. Are you? Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. CT, call 888-789-7777. MA, call 800-327-5050. NY, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. MD, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app.
I hear the sizzle of the grill. It's time to buy Gates sauces and seasonings for your 4th of July cookout. Make sure to use both for a boost of flavor on your dips, chips, and more. Try Gates salad seasoning on raw or cooked vegetables and sprinkle over corn on the cob to give it that extra flavor pop. Stop in and pick up a couple of slabs of ribs or a party tray to serve this 4th of July. Whichever, Gates has you covered. All 5 locations will be open this 4th of July. Gates has proudly served Kansas City for 80 years. Thanks with love.
At Jackson County Parks Plus Rec, there are countless ways to make your day.
Ooh, that's a great shot.
Take the Fred Arbanis Golf Course with 18 holes of championship-level golf and panoramic views of Longview Lake. It's no wonder GolfLink has named it the #1 public golf course in Missouri.
Way to sink it.
Nice birdie. The Fred Arbanis Golf Course at Jackson County Parks Plus Rec. Resort feel, affordable play. Learn more at makeyourdayhere.com.
Liberty Mutual customized this song for you. Like your car insurance, it's custom too, yeah. Liberty Mutual's got the coverage that could save you money. Thanks to Doug and Limu. You can go and take that cruise. Liberty, 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 yeah.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. Lendseek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And we cut to size, because just like taxes and BS, we think metal is better when cut. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Find a store or shop online at metalsupermarkets.com.
There's only one Ozempic.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. Because this ad is 30 seconds, I can't get into everything I'm FDA approved to do, so I'm just going to play my jingle again. But first, ask your doctor about which FDA approved uses of me, the Ozempic pen, may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA approved Ozempic. Now here's that jingle again.
There's only one Ozempic.
Hey, it's Rob Brenton, and now that the tournament has started here in Kansas City, we're keeping you up to date on Beyond the Pitch KC. So subscribe and download today. The podcast is presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen, and this is your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
11 o'clock hour here on a Monday. Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Drew Nixon producing the show. Jay Binkley in for Cody today and tomorrow. Logan in a little bit more on Wednesday and Friday. Cody back with us next week. We'll get to the trash of the day in about 20 minutes or so. We're also about 8 minutes away from talking some more World Cup. How did it go for match number 2 in Kansas City on Saturday night? We had royalty in the house on Saturday night, it turned out. We had a king and queen actually at Arrowhead with Ecuador in Curacao, so we'll talk about that, plus some fun audio out of that game and some of the fans from Ecuador that have been in Kansas City. And I know later on we'll get into Bink's criticism of the broadcast, pregame and postgame, I should say, more so than the actual in-game broadcast of the World Cup.
Sure. What are the king and queen doing all week?
That's a good question. Probably getting some barbecue, right? Like everybody else. Probably something like that.
Should have been in studio.
Yeah, you know what, Drew? Way to just drop the ball. You couldn't get the king and the queen of the Netherlands in studio for Fan Club Friday.
I mean, FanFest isn't even open.
That is, we are open for Fan Club Friday. You know what? If they're out there listening, king and queen. Well, could you imagine how Cody? If we told Cody, oh, by the way, where you're gone, we have the king and queen of the Netherlands in studio on a Fan Club Friday.
You say we have some royals.
We had some royalty. That'd be wild. We'll talk some World Cup again in just a bit. Something that I am so happy to see, though, happen for the NFL was, I guess, agreed upon with the new NFL CBA with the officiating and with the referee association. So this is from Pro Football Talk. The new CBA between the NFL and the refs emphasizes competition, okay, and accountability.
About time.
Thank you. This is going to be interesting how it plays out, but if you look at the details, and they did over at Pro Football Talk, underperforming officials can be assigned to the UFL. That's Bink's favorite spring football league, by the way. The UFL, which I think they just wrapped up like their United Bowl or whatever they call it in Louisville one or something.
Jason Bean was playing, man.
That's true. That United, I don't watch the league, but UFL. Anyway, the decision would come following a review of officials. Quote, if you underperformed during the season, were not assigned to a playoff game. NFL VP of Officiating, Training, and Development told ESPN. Those officials would work with their supervisors to review each of their calls, identify any mistakes in mechanics and positioning. Following the review, those officials will be assigned to work in the UFL, quote, if necessary. Now, this is not going to happen all the time, but at least there's a potential consequence. We all have jobs. We all have expectations. And if you do not meet those, there are consequences. Sometimes it's termination. Other times you get on a plan, right, and you try to work your way through it. It's not in the NFL, they've never had that. They fired officials before, but there's never been a competition where they're going to create essentially a pipeline, Bink, of officials that they can promote and demote. I love this.
No, I do too. They just have it's considered a practice squad of officiating. 12 officials now. It's
going to start doing mock drafts for the next officiating
called
group.
up for the practice squad. But it's also interesting too. A little side note: UFL and NFL. There's no clear connection between it being a developmental league. This shows there kind of is. If the NFL are going to send them to the EFL, it's probably like grateful to have them come down. But yes, if they're not performing right and they are scored each and every game, refs can be called up from the practice squad, and they're going to also be working. They'll be at times in the regular games as well to see what they're doing, to see if they're practice squad worthy to be with the NFL officials. So they're already going to get their chance regardless of performance with others. They'll still be on the field at different times.
Officials can, they can be sent to the minor leagues. Like, I mean, they can get optioned down, like in baseball. I think this is smart. I'm not saying we're going to see it happen all the time. And hopefully it just leads to them taking their craft even more seriously than they do. And that there's not this feeling of like, what are they going to do to me? No, if you grade out poorly, there are consequences. In the past, a lot of the grading out poorly meant you didn't get to officiate playoff games, or you didn't get to do the Super Bowl, and that's an honor, of course, if you get to do that if you're an NFL official. And so it's not just that, oh yeah, I can collect my check in the regular season, I don't get assigned a wild card weekend. Now it's, if it's week 5 and you continue to make mistakes, they can call somebody else up to officiate that random Jags-Colts game. You can go down to the UFL and train some more and officiate the Birmingham Stallions or whatever they're called in the Louisville, whatever they are. Bank the Knights, the Kings, I don't know what they are.
Well, it's one thing also that, again, these guys are going to show up at regular season games too. Not only that, but the officials also showed up to OTAs now in minicamp. Now, oftentimes they'll show up to
we've
training
seen
camps.
St. Joe, yeah.
No, that they have, but the OTAs they hadn't been to. But they're using them now like they should, and this is a trend going towards making them full-time officials when you find things for them to do in the off-season, which is, I think, the direction you'd like to see officials become all full-time employees.
Yes, that's something that this is, I guess, a step in the right direction, to your point. I mean, we still definitely need to get to where we're going to have an official that is year-round working towards their
Put it this way. There's going to be 12 of them, right? Per ESPN, they'll be assigned to different crews during the season. They'll travel to game sites. They'll be available to step in if one of the assigned officials is performing or gets injured. So the way I'm reading this, if he's having a rough game, he can step in. So
he's on like a rehab assignment?
Yeah, you've got the practice squad there with them that can step right in.
I mean,
there's no foul in the play for a block in the back. Timeout.
When Carl Jeffers gets his feelings hurt or whatever, too, and gets nervous, can they send him down? Is that possible?
I guess. I don't know. It's just interesting that they're going to be traveling to the games.
Going to get optioned to the UFL.
Like, this didn't make a lot of sense, though, this Pro Football Talk. This is a separate article they had. It said, per ESPN, they'll be able to step in if one of the assigned officials is performing poorly. Does that mean if he's having a crappy first half, he's been bad through 3 quarters, they say, you're out, Bill. You're out. And they put the replacement. Or gets injured, so that means that someone would step in. I just find it interesting what they're doing, but it's basically a practice squad of officials. So now you actually have accountability, and this gets people to stop screaming the refs are in the Chiefs' pocket unless they somehow think the
That's not
practice
stop.
squad.
It doesn't matter, though.
Unless they think the practice squad is paid by the Chiefs.
It's not going to stop.
Chiefs are paying the practice squad now?
The minute the Chiefs are winning again and back on top or near the top of their division and all that, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. Drew's right that suddenly everybody will start complaining about it again. Last year was quiet because the team won 6 games and people didn't care. The minute the Chiefs are back, they're going to say, I can almost promise you, if the Chiefs get off to a 5-0 start or 5-1 or something, 4-1, there will be immediately, once again, everybody said, the league couldn't have Mahomes or the Chiefs down for more than 1 year. They rigged it for them. You know that crap's going to happen again. They can't help themselves.
I'm just interested to see how this thing works because they are going to have to look over their shoulders. That's exactly what this is. Refs looking over their shoulders because there's accountability for players, you're benched, accountability for manager or head coaches, they're fired. Now you have accountability for officiating, something they've desperately needed. Mm-hmm. Who's going to be the first official?
I still think if they made them full time, then there'd be more accountability already there.
100%.
They would feel like they need to,
even
be better.
Beginning officials make over $100,000, so it's not like. And again, I've gone over this list on here before, and at nights, all the head officials' real jobs. A lot of them are lawyers or nonprofit CEOs. There's even some that are high school principals or whatever. They don't need that second job. And you know what? If they're grandfathered in, they really like that extra cash from what they're bringing in by being a lawyer or whatever, that's fine. But the next crop, this is your job. Your job is an NFL official. And trust me, there's enough people that want to do this job. They'll easily find replacements.
Yeah, at that level it is. It's tough, though, like finding the next young crop of officiating. You're right.
You gradually sneak them in.
Yes, if you're already officiating in D2 college football, sure, it would be amazing to get an NFL opportunity or whatever. But we've talked about this at the youth level. It's tough, which then translates to those that aren't wanting to be officials at low-level college or high school officials, et cetera, that will eventually work their way up. The only thing is, I think this is going to take a couple years of a cycle because the spring league, UFL, is in the spring. And so the NFL season is going to be, September through January. They're not in November. I don't think there's anybody to call up and call down yet. You're not like, if you get sent down, you can't go in November and officiate in the UFL. You have to wait till the spring. So I think it's going to take a year or two for this to really get going.
Here's what it says. They can swing in and work for individuals who are struggling. According to the officiating, the head of officiating to ESPN, they're going to be embedded in a crew, learn how to become professionals, and take care of their bodies. They will be able to learn the terminology, pace, speed, travel, as well as working in those NFL games. So they plan to send them anyway, whether they're going to be in there or not, but they're going to be going to different NFL games as a crew, which means they can step in. I wonder how the officials will treat those guys, that can step in for them at a moment's notice, or if they're injured or performing poorly. The performing poorly is interesting to me. So does that mean 3 quarters you suck?
Well, they're not pulling people out in the middle of a game.
Well, I would think not, but the way it's worded.
Well, it's no difference. Why we were joking about the baseball equivalent. They're not in baseball when they option a player, they don't pull someone out after making an error in the 3rd inning and say, we're pulling out of the game and you're going right to Omaha, right in the middle of the game. No, they finish out the game.
It just says they'll travel to game sites.
Right,
they'll be available to step in if one of the assigned officials is performing poorly or gets injured. That's the language.
Injured.
But they also throw in performing poorly. There's just no way they replace them during a game.
That's what I'm saying.
The way it's worded is,
there's no way.
Have you thinking that? I'm just saying the way it's worded.
Okay, it's worded
makes you think
poorly.
It's possible. It is.
It's worded poorly. You and
There's
I know
no way they're going to replace them during the game.
The official that's up in the press box is not coming down at halftime to replace or Shot Hockley in the middle of the game. Okay. He's actually one of the better officials.
So if they do get hurt, there'll be someone stepping in.
Yeah,
so
we'll see, man.
Performing poorly is interesting to me. Just the terminology of using performing poorly. What does that exactly entail?
Before we get to the trash of the day, we know Kansas City had its second World Cup match on Saturday. Once again, Drew, the visuals were awesome. It wasn't a whiteout, Drew. It was a yellow out, though. How about the Ecuador fans? They packed Arrowhead. It was awesome.
The Chiefs wouldn't want to do a yellow out either if they did go to uniforms. It wouldn't matter.
And on Thursday, it's an orange out, and they won't be doing an orange out either.
It looks cooler.
Well, sea of red. It's all red. It works as well. But either way, it's been very cool to see the visuals. And it feels like, based on, I don't know if you know anybody that went to the game as well, Bank, the folks that went on Saturday, the traffic, the entry, it was way smoother. Now, maybe people all just left a hell of a lot earlier too, but there was no rush hour traffic. So I don't know. Are we able to say it was fixed, or is it just that, hey, people left early, which is great, but also we eliminated all the normal rush hour traffic, and that's going to come back into play on Thursday.
Well, being in Kansas City, if you just go to a Saturday evening game, you will notice a completely different traffic flow on I-70 get into the game than going during a middle of the week game. So granted, when they said Saturday it's smoother, it's like, okay, well, duh, there's no rush hour. Saturday around the complex is much smoother for Royals games throughout the year, getting into it than getting into it during a day part right during rush hour. So granted, that was going to be easier, but you did hear that At least it looked like it was smoother. Again, you're dealing with Saturday traffic flow rather than during the week traffic flow, which I do think is different. It's hard to gauge it that it's 100% success because of the actual day it was on, which is the wild card in the whole situation.
Salvi was there. I don't know if you saw. I guess I saw a video. He addressed the crowd.
A lot of Royals were there, I think.
Yeah, they were. Well, they were off Saturday.
The Cardinals are.
They were off Saturday, so they had it because of the World Cup. So they had a chance to go check out. I think.
Did Bobby sit with the King?
I don't know where he sat. Do we know? Did Bobby go to the soccer game?
I think so. He was down at the card deal with Tom
Brady.
Brady.
He went to Card Vault, Tom Brady's new card store, opened up in Kansas City. They had a pretty cool thing. Vinny was there. Lane Thomas, I think I saw in the photo. Carter Jensen. And there were some fans that lined up at 3 a.m. for that.
That looked insane. Like, it was just packed. Like, the power line was packed because of
Brady. People wanted to see Tom Brady.
Yeah, it was huge.
He wasn't signing autographs for everybody, but for the people that waited in line since 3 a.m., he signed, like, the first 15 people got autographs, which was, that's why those people got there.
There's a lot of soccer fans down there as well.
It's smart timing for them to open it up. It's smart timing for them to open up the store while the World Cup is going on. And I went to the store after our show on Thursday. So,
did you?
Yeah, I wasn't there for the grand opening, unfortunately, but it's cool. Yeah, it's very cool.
Is it right there with the other, like the interior part of, or
it's on the exterior part? It's on, what would that be, Walnut?
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Walnut. So yeah, that was neat. And you could tell even down there, just as you were mentioning, just in anywhere this weekend, the amount of fans from different countries. Once again, it feels like every week that this tournament continues, you get more of a sense of everything that's happening around with the World Cup.
Yeah, and you're still going to have a round of 32 here, still going to have a quarterfinal here. So they played 2 of the 6 now at Kansas City Stadium.
Yeah, Arrowhead, yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't forget today, there's a couple matches going on, not in Kansas City, but first one, 45 minutes from now, guys, Argentina and Austria. Don't forget our scoreboard updates brought to you by Surfside, made with real vodka and zero bubbles. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly. That's one of multiple games today. Then we got France and Iraq, Norway, Senegal, and then Jordan, Algeria. The late game, not till 10 o'clock tonight.
10.
I know you've had some 11 o'clock start times, but
Is that the late night FS1 game?
It is. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. The first 3 matches are on main Fox, and then Jordan, Algeria. You've been saying that the broadcast has been great. You don't like the pregame. Drew had some harsh criticism for Alexi Lawless. I think everybody's been bagging on Lawless throughout this entire tournament.
Well, the whole thing is, because I have consumed a lot of the World Cup, because I enjoy international competitions. Like I said, I like watching the Olympics or whatever. But if you're not a huge soccer guy, you enjoy, like, I don't watch a lot of pregame and postgame for the NFL because you live it, you consume it. It's what we do for a living.
For us,
yeah. It's not. It's not new information at all. What went on during the week with the Kansas City Chiefs, but I use it as educational. Like, what are they saying about the teams playing? Because you don't have a lot of history of watching Ecuador soccer or whatever. What are they saying about the teams? And the first thing I can say is, it looks like these guys don't like each other. Like, it doesn't. Like, I don't understand. It's a bunch of soccer players, from different countries. They put on the FS1, pregame or the Fox pregame or whatever. It is just like the whole chemistry. And I don't bag on announcers very often. It's just like the whole Joe Buck thing. I never really got into that. But you sit there and watch it, and you're like, I really want to be entertained by this and understand this and have it, learn about this game that I'm getting ready to watch to try to get excited for it. And it's hard to, and there's not that enthusiasm you have. And it looks like guys don't like each other. And then when they show the live sets at the different games and stuff, it's like there's such a difference to me, and it's just maybe me, between this and like a college game day or something, when everybody's so excited, the announcers are all fired up, the crowd's fired up and excited about it. It just looks like different to me because.
Are you saying you need Pat McAfee on World Cup coverage? Is that what you're basically saying?
I need McAfee because whenever they show Jameis.
Too bad it's on Fox.
Whenever they show Jameis Winston out doing his deal, it's like so much energy and enthusiasm and passion because the World Cup's about passion. And then you get a bunch of guys that don't seem like they like each other.
They're taking it very serious.
They seem very shy. Yeah. They just seem very shy. Like they're not broadcast. Like Drew says some of them are on different world broadcasts and stuff like that. But, how much broadcasting have they done?
A lot.
I just see a big difference.
I just think they're serious.
NFL players.
I just think they take it way too serious. I don't know.
It just seems like they don't like each other, man, to be honest with you.
I mean, if you're talking about Thierry Henry, though, so Thierry does Champions League stuff all the time. I think, he's in a way not in his element because he's not with any of the supporting cast that he's normally with for Champions League. So it's different with Rebecca Lowe, who is normally NBC and does stuff with USA in the Premier League. And then Zlatan is he's like a guest analyst, essentially. Alexi Lalas is the Fox guy, but they don't like being with Alexi Lalas. You can see it on their faces during the broadcast.
Yeah, it's one thing not to like somebody, but they really don't. I've heard the lady who hosted, she was on with Dan Patrick.
Rebecca Lowe,
and they were asking her if these guys really like each other. And they always play it off like, oh, they like each other and respect each other. That doesn't come off. Now,
No, because
you know what?
if you
Play into it. Have them yell at each other or whatever. Play into them not liking each other. That's what I would do to spark the broadcast.
The Guardian had an article that absolutely buried Alexi Lalas. They buried him alive, essentially. It was really bad.
I just see a collection of guys. I want to see
Wizards did get a mention in the piece, by the way, which
I just
thought
want to see
interesting.
enthusiasm. They just look shy. It's like it's their first time on camera, some of them. It's like, what are we doing
You're
here?
asking Thierry Henry, who is a French footballer. He played for France. He's a French national.
I understand that,
to
but
get
it's not
excited
just
about
him,
the
it's
United
everybody.
States. He's not going to get excited about the United States.
It's
not going to happen.
Well, anybody.
Zlatan came to the MLS, made fun of the MLS because he was better than everybody in the MLS, and then left. He doesn't. They're not going to get Swedish and French national players to get excited for the U.S.
Have them yell at each other.
It's just not going to happen.
Have them yell at each other.
They don't. The text line is absolutely right. They don't respect Alexi Lalas in any way, shape, or form at all on the broadcast, and it's evident. Zlatan. Rebecca Lowe said Alexi Lalas is not here. He went to go with Stu and Clint Dempsey. About 10 seconds later, Alexi Lalas said Zlatan said, "You won today, America," on the broadcast. They don't like him. And I think it's evident. I don't think Americans like Alexi Lalas.
Have some chemistry. So pretend like you like him.
The headline, the Guardian article Drew's talking about, the headline is the French.
It buried Alexi Lalas.
The French aristocrat and the all-American idiot. Henry versus Lalas is the World Cup's most compelling battle. That was the headline in the Guardian today.
Did Alexi Lalas enjoy an elite playing career? No. Does he do the background reading that could composite for his relative lack of standing in a conversation like with Titans like Henry and Zlatan? Also no. Is he charming or funny or charismatic? No. He also is. He tries too hard, and he's not an enjoyable watch.
But he brings the passion, though. He brings the passion, at least.
But it's not good. I'd rather a fan go up there and do it. That's fine. Of all the people, bring Clint Dempsey over.
That's
he at
fine.
least has worked
Clint's been great.
Clint has worked with Thierry Henry for Champions League games. They have a relationship, and Clint's done something with American soccer.
It's not just them, though. It's the pairings, because they have multiple groups. You know, the FS1 has their own group, too.
This is now
I would literally take anybody else other than Alexi Lalas.
He's been doing stuff for Fox for 11 years, 10 years, or whatever it is at this point.
And he'd be fine.
And it's been the same. It's been the
other.
same for the last decade. It hasn't been good.
Thinking of the World Cup real quick, and we'll do Trash of the Day at the end of the Chiefs Red Half Hour because we're going to run out of time here. But I mentioned with the Kansas City match, Ecuador, of course, played on Saturday. And there was a fan that was being interviewed by local TV, and they were down, I think, near 18th and Vine. And I think this was on June 19th. On Friday, and just listen to this.
I'm from Ecuador.
Joaquin Ceballos is in town with his father to catch their national team on the pitch Saturday. Until then, they're on an adventure around Kansas City.
We've been eating Anthony's Bryant's barbecue. That's all we have been doing for the days.
A last-minute detour to a local museum brought them to the Juneteenth KC Festival. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't know what it is.
So this was the Ecuador fan hanging out. Anthony Bryant's, baby. Anthony Bryant's. Yeah, Drew, we talked about the barbecue tour. Have you've gone to Arthur Bryant's, right?
No.
So he's gone before. Okay. See, we got to get Drew on the barbecue tour.
I like my smokehouse. I go to Smokehouse. Smokehouse is my place.
I'm with you on that one.
Oh, Smokehouse is very good.
Actually,
I don't need to eat anywhere else.
I know it sounds silly, but
I like to rotate.
I like a ton of barbecue restaurants in this town.
Oh yeah, I mean we can. You can
put an all-star
I was just at
grouping.
Q39 last week. I obviously have gone to Joe's many times. Gates is a classic. Yeah, there's plenty of good barbecue, and I think I saw an article that a few of them are opening extended hours because they know that there's international visitors to the area as well. But
text line says I don't like soccer because there's only one beer or bathroom break. Not true.
We get four now. What are you talking about?
First of all,
Bink gets more beer breaks now in World Cup soccer.
First of all, it's not soccer. It's football. Let's be correct here, text line.
Okay.
I'm the soccer insider.
It is technically football.
Yes, thank you, Drew.
They do use their foot more than.
So yes, text line. I appreciate the jab, but get it right. It's football. No, but I told you I have been watching and consuming a ton of the World Cup.
As you should. It's been fun.
It has been. And hydration breaks, yes, I love them.
FanFest looked like it was rocking yesterday. The Chainsmokers, that was the rescheduled concert. They were out there. The crowd, it looked packed. I don't know if you saw the video that FanFest put out from last night.
And hydration breaks, and everybody's bitching about them. It's a good beer break, a hydration break.
For you, it's important.
It's a hydration
You like
break.
your beer breaks. I know. You like your beer breaks. All right, up next, we'll get to the Chiefs Red Half Hour.
There's a lot of injuries to grab a beer, too.
One prediction from ESPN about the Chiefs, and we'll also talk more about the World Cup tying into the NFL, including a England forward learning what not to wear in Kansas City.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
A large bank that stays tied to the community it serves? That's bold. For over 90 years, Security Bank has served the greater Kansas City area. That's longer than most of the barbecue joints around. What's our secret sauce? It's our commitment to local lending and local decisions, championing what makes Kansas City great, because Kansas City is full of champions. Speaking of which, we've been recognized as the strongest large bank in KC. Security Bank of Kansas City, member FDIC.
Feeling the squeeze of high prices? Then stretch your budget this Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. Stock up and save big with 99-cent deals throughout the store. Get special recipe brats, pork loin ribeye, Dole salad kits, and more for just 99 cents. Fill your cart for less with red-hot deals on hundreds of items. Order online or through the Hy-Vee app and leave the shopping to us. Don't miss the 99-cent sale this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their match day meat bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
Electrical service shouldn't be a hassle. That's why KC calls on KB Complete for all their electrical needs. For over 30 years, whether it's lighting, electrical panels, generators, or more, no job is too big or too small. From start to KB Complete, we believe in honest work, real results, and the kind of care that makes a difference. Call KB Complete at 913-730-5111 or visit kbcomplete.com today.
Your job's not done until it's KB Complete.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out.
Leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
You can never have too many tools. Shop DeWalt deals at Lowe's. Get a free Select DeWalt 20-volt max power tool when you buy a Select 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery kit. Plus, get a free additional DeWalt 20-volt max 8-amp-hour battery when you buy a DeWalt 10-inch 20-volt max dual-bevel compounded miter saw. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 6/24 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Join us at 96.5 The Fans World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut on State Line, June 25th with the drive starting at 2 and kickoff at 9. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933.
Brought to you by Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit ClimateControlKC.com. Climate Control has been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer. Schedule your AC system tune-up for just $49. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC-Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
It is the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Alex Gold, Drew Nixon, Jay Binkley with you. Video stream up and running on YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook. Jay Southland Tow Service text line always open, 913-586-7965. Talk a little Chiefs football. We'll also mix in the trash of the day at the end of the segment. We didn't get to it there in the last half hour. So ESPN was going through their predictions of final offseason moves for every team in the NFL. All right? And this is a name that has come up before, but I think a lot of Chiefs fans, if I predicted and told you to predict a move later on this summer, my guess is they might say wide receiver, Bink, but they're probably going to say Tyreek Hill. ESPN was going through it, and they see Deebo Samuel as KC's final offseason move. That's their prediction, at least. What do you make of that? Because he is also a wide receiver. He is also still available, yet his name hasn't come up as much among fans here. And I wonder, is that a name you're interested in? Because I don't think they need Deebo Samuel in this offense. Like, does that make sense? I don't need a wide receiver lining up and running back and getting creative. To me, that Deebo might be way bulkier than Xavier Worthy, but I can have Worthy line up in the backfield. I also have Kenneth Walker now. I don't think they need that type of role. Deebo Samuel would have been much better in the system a year or two ago.
Deebo
or 5
Samuel.
years. Yeah.
I always thought, honestly, going through it, like early on, Deebo Samuel would have been the perfect Andy Reid receiver. You know, think about all the things he could have done with him in the backfield, you know, being a receiver, doing so many things with Deebo. But the problem is Deebo's 30 now. and we know the magic number for receivers where that production comes down. He did have 72 catches last year with Washington, but
5 touchdowns, 700
way
yards.
more interested in 2021 version of Deebo Samuel than 2025 version of Deebo Samuel. I like the guy. I've always liked the guy. I've always thought he'd been a great fit with Andy Reid early on. I just don't see the fit right now. Now, with this wide receiver room, yeah, you can make an argument for a lot of guys to fit into it, but Deebo would not be one of them.
Yeah, I'm not anti-signing a veteran receiver. I just don't know if that's the move that makes the most sense. Yeah, he was productive. He's, once again, the reason why he's still out there, he's in that same category. Bink, he's 30 years old. He's struggled at times to stay healthy throughout his career. Is there something still left in the tank? I'm not even saying that Deebo Samuel doesn't have anything left. I just don't know if he makes sense in Kansas City. Maybe I'm way off on this. Tyreek Hill, we know we've talked at great length about that already. And the question with him is not whether or not he wants to come back, but is his knee shot or not? And Deebo, there's a chance maybe he has more in the tank. I just don't know what his role is in Kansas City. And the article mentions how the Rashee Rice situation is confusing and, is he going to be healthy for camp and suspended and all that? I don't think he's getting suspended, and I actually think he'll be ready for training camp. Maybe he has to miss the first week or something. So I disagree that the Rashee Rice situation should be why you need to sign Deebo Samuel. I don't think that at all. If they get an injury, that's different.
Deebo just seems past his prime too. That yards per reception's come way down. Like that's the part that's trending way down. His rushing numbers as well, because he's not using the backfield like he was. I mean, this guy was, his heyday 360 to 400 yards rushing. I mean, utilizing him in the backfield now. He's not going to touch the ball in this backfield with the collection of running backs that they have. So it would be just Deebo as a receiver at this point, nothing else. Not saying he wouldn't help the room. I'm not saying the wide receivers here are great shakes. Like Deebo would probably fit in to what they do, but it's not the all-around piece that you would have gotten with an early on Deebo Samuel. And again, he's 30. He turns 31.
All these guys are going to be old, though, right? I mean, that's going to apply to any of the veteran wide receivers that are out there. They're out there in large part because of back into their career. I mean, if I were, Stephon Diggs, of course, is still out there. If I were to give you Diggs, Hill, or Samuel, where would you rank your order of interest? I understand the financials could be a little different for everybody. Let's say it's all 1 year for $8 million for the sake of the conversation. How would you rank out your interest and fit for Kansas City between those three?
Probably Diggs, then Deebo, then Hill. But it'd be real
so Hill
close
would still be last. Okay.
It'd be close between the 2 and 3 of them. My only thing with Deebo is he just lost that yards after catch. I mean, this is such a yards after catch type of offense. He just really slept, man, as far as yards per reception. That part of the game is caught up with him, with Deebo Samuel. So, yes, early on Deebo had that explosion, that yards after catch, but, man, it was down to right at 10 yards of reception, I think, last year.
I don't think the financials would be the same for all three, but in this hypothetical they are. Because to me, the answer would be Diggs, then Hill, then Deebo. The Hill question is all about what does the Chiefs medical staff believe is up with that.
That's my thing with Hill. I just don't know the connection.
And the Chiefs won't sign him unless they think he's actually capable of playing football, and then he's healthy. Maybe he's someone that we have to wait till October or November on. So maybe we really should just be talking about Deebo and Stephon Diggs. Now, in the same article, they mentioned another AFC West team signing Stephon Diggs. So the prediction was that the Chiefs signed Deebo from ESPN. They predict the Raiders signed Stephon Diggs. Their reasoning was Diggs was the number one target that helped Josh Allen improve. It mentioned that he helped Drake May improve. And so now they're saying, could Stephon Diggs help Fernando Mendoza whenever that is that he starts? We don't know if it'll be Kirk Cousins week 1 or not. That'll continue to be an off-season story. That receiver room in Vegas is horrendous. So, yes, I actually think that's a better fit for the Raiders. Diggs could put up some big numbers in Vegas this year. The receivers stink out in Las Vegas. It's a terrible room. It really is. Like, I know we don't think the room here in Kansas City is great.
It's bad.
The Raiders room is not even close how bad it is.
But he turns 33 during the season. I mean, that's just, you get to a certain point.
What do you have to lose if you're Vegas at this point in time? You're just trying to develop your quarterback. Your receivers are Trey Tucker. Jalen Naylor is your big signing for the Vikings. He was like their number 3 or 4 receiver in Minnesota. Dante Thornton Jr., and then I'll be honest, a couple guys I've never heard of. Malik Benson, you guys probably have because of college football, but Derek Young, Like, I don't even know who these guys are.
And it's a shame, too, because the other pieces aren't bad. You have Bowers there and you have Ashton-Genti, back there as well. But the wide receivers have been a problem. Diggs is one of those guys you think, all right, he just wants to compete at this point. Going to turn 33 this year. Will he compete? And you all saw the, after the game in Kansas City, AFC title game, he's watching the stuff down. Diggs desperately wants to win. But at this age, you throw everything out the window and he just wants to play.
They mention that the Commanders are the team that they predict to sign Tyreek Hill. How about that? So Diggs to the Raiders, Hill to the Commanders, and they have the Chiefs signing Debo.
They're talking about how the Washington fans want Diggs because he's from the area.
I think Diggs is the best of the bunch of those guys. We've talked about Brandon Ayuk as well. We just don't know what's going to happen with him.
At this point, the yards
Did you
per
see
reception.
his most recent Instagram video where he was like, "Go Commanders, go Commanders, go Commanders"?
Oh, really? Debo or Ayuk was? Mm-hmm. He remember Adam Peters, the GM in San Francisco, was the assistant GM in
what a disastrous
Adam
situation
Peters,
for the Niners to be
GM in with the Commanders was the assistant GM for the 49ers.
I'd stay away from Ayuk.
Yeah, so would I.
Just stay away from that situation. That you put that on with an NFL team, man.
I just don't know if he wants to play football.
Doesn't look like it. It was a team that desperately could have used him where he was.
I just don't think he wants to be in San Francisco. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know what it is exactly, but that man wants nothing to do with San Francisco. Out here wearing Commanders beanie hats and everything like that. He wants to be in Washington, D.C.
That's a real concern, not only for other teams, but that team as well. Like, why does he want to be here so much? And what's he going to do, or is this going to go bad?
He wants to get away from that industrial plant.
The electrical substation or whatever.
Yeah, they said they tested that, though, and everything's fine, so we'll see.
Aren't they still doing it, or have they completely
I don't know.
It
seems to be an issue.
All we know is that George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, and Brandon Ayuk can't stay healthy, and those are the three biggest players that you need on offense, essentially.
Well, McCaffrey did last year, didn't he? So
last year, McCaffrey was, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And then Kittle got hurt last year.
It's with the power.
Purdy's been hurt.
Yep.
Fred Warner. A lot of them, man.
The power plant. What a situation to be in. Yeah, McCaffrey played all the games.
From the 816, Dusty May, new head coach of the Mavericks. Yes, we will get back into that at noon. We started the show with that, and we will get back to that. Yep, saw that news around 9 o'clock or so this morning, and we will get back into that and what it means not only for the NBA, but potentially for college basketball, why our coach is leaving, and what it means for the Kansas job in the future if Bill Self ever retires. So all that is definitely something we'll get to.
But as far as it's almost like the Chiefs are pretty content with the group they have. I mean, looking at some of the offseason moves, it was about the coaching staff, not the personnel, that they made the biggest moves. With O'Shea and DeMarco Murray, they clearly said this is a coaching staff issue, not a personnel issue with a lot of the moves that they made, especially a wide receiver.
Wide receiver, they're absolutely saying it was a coaching problem. And in large part, I think there's certainly a big chunk of the pie that it was. Now, as I've said over and over, I like the O'Shea hire, and I think they have a real wide receiver coach. We don't need to act – he's not capable of making miracles happen, though.
Yeah, so, he's not going to be on the field catching the football.
There has to still be some understanding there. But I think there's a chance we'll see just how bad some of the basic stuff was not being coached up. You know, the route running, the laziness, the spatial awareness on the sideline. That stuff you would think would be coaching, and they didn't have it. And for an organization that retained, understandably so, retained their coordinator on defense, retained their head coach, they changed up the staff as much as you usually would ever see a staff change without everybody being gone, right? Like, you don't normally see a head coach make as many changes as Andy did, and I'm glad they did. They needed to on offense. We discussed this plenty at the end of last season.
I think the best part about it is the accountability part, because O'Shea's a lot like EB as far as getting after players and being the vocal one, the barker. That's what EB has been since the day one he was here in Kansas City when he came over with Andy Reid in 2013 and was out there just yelling at the players and everything. At least if you drop a 3rd and 8, if you're not breaking man coverage, you got to deal with O'Shea, and then you'll probably also have to deal with EB as well. So this is things they didn't have to deal with. They just go to the sideline and everything be good. I mean, there's Andy Reid's clearly, busy with the rest of the game, but all of a sudden you have O'Shea and Bieniemy now when you're not out there doing your job. So that part is good for Kansas City, and they have 2 barkers in O'Shea and EB that will get into you if they want to, and they will.
One other prediction I thought was interesting from this ESPN article, they're predicting the final move of the offseason. They have the Colts trading Anthony Richardson. Now, it doesn't say to where, though, so I think, okay, yes. Who's trading for Anthony Richardson during training camp? He's no longer part of their plans. We know this. It's Daniel Jones, and there's still a question mark around him. He gets a $4 million roster bonus in July, does Anthony Richardson. Who's trading for him this late?
If you're extremely desperate for a quarterback, Sorsby's going to change that with the supplemental draft.
That's what I'm saying. If you're a team that's doing
Malik Willis is one of the best free agent quarterback signed.
Is he still younger than Brendan Sorsby?
Richardson.
Is Anthony Richardson still younger than him? He might be.
Oh,
Richardson is 24.
Yeah, Sorsby's younger than that.
Brendan Sorsby is 22. Yeah, so he's a couple years younger. But you're right about that. To that point, Bink. If you are somebody that was like, oh, we'll take a flyer on Richardson. What are you gonna get if you're the Colts? A 6th-round pick at this point? I mean, I'm not giving up a third. I can give up, or a 4th. I can do that for Brendan Sorsby possibly in the supplemental draft.
That changes things with the market for Richardson, in my opinion. But there's so many starved teams, and there wasn't the great free agent class of quarterbacks. And I'm still waiting to see if someone comes to Frisco with the hell of an offer for Mac Jones.
If you're I don't think he's getting traded.
I don't think so either, but desperation.
Sandra, you think who?
The Ravens.
Should trade for
Anthony Richardson. It makes sense.
Oh, for Anthony Richardson, just to have a backup for Lamar.
Yep.
They could trade for a late draft pick. That'd be it. He'd not start anywhere. So.
Similar style. He might want out anyways. Just try to get him to buy into the system and then see what happens.
I saw a list that they put together of a top 10 NFL backup quarterback situation.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. I know that's how
you're screwed usually if that happens anyway.
If they didn't have the Chiefs in the top 10, I thought that was a little unusual. Not to at least have Justin Fields. Justin Fields getting no respect. He wasn't in the top 10 of backups in the NFL.
Yeah, I guess that is surprising.
We saw
given
Joe Flacco
given
and all
the
these
experience. I mean, the Chiefs are screwed obviously if Mahomes gets hurt anyway. So
yeah, but put up some good numbers in the NFL. I was just shocked the Chiefs were the top 10 of backup quarterback situations.
Who was now you have me curious on that. Who was better?
Let's see if I can find out.
Obviously, Brock Purdy, Mac Jones got to be like maybe the best QB backup situation in football. You would agree?
Yes, 100%.
Kirk Cousins, Mendoza. The problem is we don't know who's starting, so that would be pretty high up there, just in terms of starting experience.
See, I know that Jameis got some run for the Giants.
Okay.
Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
Mendoza with the Raiders is their top 3.
Yeah.
Those are the top 3. I don't have the full list of their situations for the backup quarterbacks. I'll have to find that list again. But
I was going to say.
But the Fields was not in the top 10.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
Not
something else that's good to know.
Not that you care about backup quarterbacks.
I don't. Yeah. The good news is, Bink, we learned that people that are here for the World Cup and at the base camps, they have learned what jerseys not to wear in Kansas City. I was surprised by this. Was the jersey? I thought it was
surprised me too.
I thought it would be like a Raiders jersey, but Ollie Watkins, who is a forward for the English national team, they all know they're based here. They're not going to play in Kansas City, but they're based here. He was holding media availability, and he said he learned something while walking around Kansas City.
Yeah, I wore a Dallas Cowboys jersey into Kansas the other day, and I was with my family, and the guy said to me, "You can't wear that around here." So, I won't be wearing that again. But, I don't know too much about American sports. But look, the hospitality's been amazing, and I feel like everyone's so friendly over here. But yeah, I need to check out, I think, Joe's Barbecue as well, I think, at some point.
How about that? So another shout out for a different barbecue. Earlier in the show, we had the Ecuador fans, Anthony, he meant Arthur Bryant's, but said Anthony Bryant's, and then we got a Joe shout out there. I'm surprised the Cowboys jersey. Like, nobody likes the Cowboys unless you're a Cowboys fan, but I guess I would have thought, Drew, walking around Kansas City, like, oh, yeah, don't wear a Broncos jersey or a Raiders jersey or a Bills jersey or a Cincinnati jersey or something. Like, Cowboys jersey would not be on my list of like where I would say anything to you.
No, I don't think anybody
in general, like if you were in Philadelphia, don't wear a Cowboys jersey around Philly. That's
like Broncos, yes.
Yeah. Now he said he's not doesn't pay much attention to American sports, but why was he wearing a Cowboys jersey? Do we know?
Internationally,
is it a Dak Prescott jersey or what?
I don't know. I mean, Cowboys are one of the most recognized teams
worldwide.
So I would say that.
So you're just wearing one because
sense.
It's like,
he's in America. Why not
pick the Cowboys? Let's go. Go with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
All right, I found that list.
Okay.
It was CBS. Number 10 was Anthony Richardson.
Oh, I'd rather have Justin Fields my backup than Anthony Richardson. I already disagree with this list.
9, Tyson Bagent to the Bears. What? Eagles, Andy Dalton / Tanner McKee.
Okay.
Texans were 7th with Davis Mills.
Davis Mills has been pretty good as backup.
Spencer Rattler was number 6 with the Saints. Jameis Winston, number 5 with the Giants. Mariota, number 4 with the Commanders. Joe Flacco, number 3 with the Bengals. Fernando Mendoza with the Raiders. Number 1, Mac Jones.
So my only issue would be at 10. Anthony Richardson is not. You would rather have him as your backup than Justin Fields this year. That's crazy.
Fields.
That's crazy. The rest of the list, I actually don't have really. I don't have an issue with.
I always thought there was a chance for Joe Flacco to end up in Kansas City. That was always kind of my thought.
Yeah.
But if Joe wants to play, thinking, Burrow's going to get hurt by week 4 and be gone for the year, I have more of a chance to play. Just saying.
He said it, not me, Drew.
I was just thinking,
he said it, not me. Let the record state. That
Joe
wasn't me this
Flacco
time.
would have been a Chiefs-like move at the very end for a veteran quarterback to step in.
I don't get offended when you guys say Joe Flacco's going to play instead of Joe Burrow. It doesn't matter to me as long as the Bengals win. I couldn't care less.
I think the Bengals have a chance to win that division.
He can bring back Achilles Smith if he wants to. If they win games, sure.
Achilles Smith.
I have that. The only thing I don't agree with Burrow is the 2019 LSU comparison because I want to know who's playing the role of Justin Jefferson.
I thought Tony Kornheiser actually hit the nail on the head with that comment. He gave a little wrap-up of that, and I think that, you want your quarterback saying those things.
No, you do, but I just want to know who's going to play the role of Justin Jefferson with that group. But I do.
T. Higgins?
Big difference. Big difference.
Well, yeah, but
T. Higgins, good player, not Justin Jefferson level.
I know, but Bank, nobody in the NFL has two wide receivers like that.
They had Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson on that 19 LSU team.
I know.
Was ridiculous.
I know.
Yeah, stacked roster. That's why we're talking about the way we do. All right, let's get to the trash of the day.
Trash of the day.
All right, we go to South Los Angeles, Bank. Some ideas are obviously bad ones, and this would qualify for that, where a driver in South LA managed to combine several of them into a single outing. 1, drinking before getting behind the wheel. 2, deciding to show off for a passenger by spinning donuts in a public parking area and did it right in front of a California Highway Patrol office.
Oh, the office.
Okay. Well, a South LA sergeant was at his desk when something cut through the ambient noise of the building. The sound of an engine being pushed hard, tires losing grip. He pulled up the office surveillance feed and found that in their parking lot of the Highway Patrol, someone was doing donuts.
Oh, my God.
A Mercedes sedan was laying down smoke right outside the station. The driver working through a series of donuts. The parking area was a closed course on a Saturday afternoon, is what this guy must have thought. The sergeant made contact with the driver, who offered an explanation, and he was completely honest and obviously stupid. He was trying to impress his female passenger, he said, and had not realized he was performing it in front of a police station. And then they did a field sobriety test. He failed. He was placed under arrest. His car was impounded. So this dumbass was out here doing donuts in front of the Highway Patrol. Most importantly, he was driving drunk on top of it.
Was the female impressed?
That he went to jail? Probably not. Probably not.
That goes on America's Dumbest Criminals.
I mean, that's
in a police station.
So dumb. And he was already drunk while driving too.
Yeah.
What? When's the last time you did donuts in a parking lot,
Never.
Bank? Never in your life.
With snow, yes. But
that counts to a certain extent, yeah.
Well, everybody does it with snow, I think.
Drew, when's the last time? I'm sure you at some point in your life you did donuts in your car in a parking lot. Like high school maybe or something? Like
yeah, when it snowed, I've done donuts before.
Like it's not since high school.
You never took that Mustang out?
No.
It's tough with the front-wheel drive to do donuts.
I'm kidding, man. For your
yeah. No.
You need to have the rear-wheel drive to really be able to do donuts.
Yeah, there's so many all-wheel drive cars now and stuff. It just makes it tough.
True.
Snow makes it a lot of fun, but
snow makes it. It's a lot. It's a blast.
I wanted snowing in front of a police station. I don't think those.
How did he not know it was a highway patrol office or whatever?
He's drunk, I guess.
Well, okay, that's the correct answer, I guess.
Oh, it's a police station.
But he was trying to impress his girlfriend or female friend. I doubt it. He's going to jail for a bit. Someone that I know that works in law enforcement here in town texted me, "Welcome to my world of stupidity. Drunk driver just rear-ended one of our patrol vehicles."
Oh, God.
Don't drive drunk, obviously. Let's start there. All right, that's the trash of the day. All right, up next, guys, let's get to what's trending. And let's talk about the one positive thing really going for the Royals tonight, right now. That is Jack Caglione. Could he end up representing the Royals in the All-Star game, as in the Home Run Derby? Maybe the game itself. We'll do that next here on Cody and Gold.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Cole Reagans, and you're listening to Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The world's best soccer teams know success starts with a strong game plan. AAA believes your insurance should work the same way. Visit AAA.com and you could save up to 21% by switching to AAA auto insurance. You can save even more if you bundle 2 or more policies, like auto and home, to unlock additional multi-policy savings while keeping all your coverage on one team. Head to AAA.com to simplify your insurance, save money, and protect what matters most. One game plan, one team. AAA Insurance.
When your plumbing systems need help, AB May is here to help your house feel like a home again. Serving Kansas City for over 65 years, AB May handles sump pumps, water heater installs, drain clearing, sewer line repairs, and much more. When it comes to your home, solved is our standard. And AB May is committed to doing things the right way every time. Trusted by generations. Call AB May at 913-383-2222 or visit abmay.com today.
Call your serviceman from AB May.
Today's match day preview is presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. Download the Fanatics Sportsbook app today. Winning hits different here. A big day in Group L as England will play their second game of the World Soccer Championship against Ghana in Foxborough, Massachusetts, and Panama will take on Croatia in Toronto. This will be the first meeting all time in the World Soccer Championship between England and Ghana. A game that figures to be low scoring with 2 good defenses. The total in the match is set at 2.5. The other match in Group L will see Panama face Croatia. With England and Croatia being the 2 big betting favorites in this group coming into the tournament, this will be a massive game for Panama to try and get a favorable result. This has been your official Odyssey Sports Match Day preview brought to you by Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Listen in ahead of each match day for the latest betting insights from Fanatics all tournament long.
Hey y'all, it's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat. Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still, and I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes. QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
What's up, Foos? Main event Jey Uso here from the WWE. When it's just me between matches, it's day one-ish. And that means it's Chumba time. With hundreds of casino-style games and new titles arriving weekly, there's always something fresh to try at Chumba Casino. The daily boosts make it even more fun. And have me about to get them all during my downtime. Ready for a fun way to chill out and enjoy a few minutes for yourself? Let's Chumba.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
Train to push past the pain. Not athletes, just people. Men, women, and children trafficked every day in the United States. Sometimes by someone they trusted. Sometimes by their own family. While millions watch the World Cup, they're fighting to survive in silence. Help us change that. Visit bluecampaign.gov/World Cup to help us break the silence.
This 4th of July, light up the night with Freedom Family Fireworks. We're family owned and packed with the biggest deals of the season. Get buy one, get one free specials. Grab the Godfather assortment for just $5.99 and get free Excalibur shells when you spend $250 or more. With locations in Liberty, Lee Summit, Pleasant Hill, Cameron, Chillicothe, and our air-conditioned superstore at Highway 291 and 210 just before the Missouri River. Visit freedomfamilyfireworks.com. Then stop by your nearest Freedom Family Fireworks location today. While supplies last, see store for details.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Spain was trading at 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $572 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today, and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
Hey, it's Rob Brenton, and now that the tournament has started here in Kansas City, we're keeping you up to date on Beyond the Pitch KC. So subscribe and download today. The podcast is presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Join 96.5 The Fan at the Peanut on State Line, Thursday, June 25th, as C-Dot and Rob broadcast live starting at 2, with kickoff to follow at 9 o'clock. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on what's trending news in the NBA, but it certainly impacts college basketball. We'll talk more about how it relates maybe to one of the local schools. But Michigan men's basketball coach Dusty May just won a national title, if you might remember, finalizing a deal reportedly to take the Dallas Mavericks job and head to the NBA and coach Cooper Flag. Big news in college sports. And I think a continued sign. There's some college coaches that don't want to deal with the current setup for college athletics. Not only that, and maybe you want the challenge of the NBA to coach Cooper Flag. But I know we're going to get into this deeper, but that was huge news around 9 o'clock or so this morning.
No, it's open season on their players and their entire roster. The Royals took 2 of 3 from the Cardinals. Jack Caglione, this guy, man, 7 ribs in those 3 games, 4 home runs in the last 3 games. Jack Caglione has been fun to go watch for the Kansas City Royals. I really thought a sweep might have been in store for the Royals over the Cards.
Yeah, yesterday was just runs all over the place. But Jack Caglione has not only figured it out, he's now performing like the star. And we're going to talk more after what's trending. Does he have a chance to get to the home run derby? And maybe more than that. But I think the home run derby, there's a real possibility, given the track record, that you don't have to lead the American League in home runs or anything like that to get.
How many will he hit tonight?
Yeah, he's got 12 right now on the 2026 season, but a bunch of them coming in the month of June. Elsewhere, World Cup action continues today. In fact, right now, about 2 minutes into the first match of the day, Argentina and Austria just underway. Messi coming off the hat trick. We'll see what he has in store today. France and Iraq at 4, Norway, Senegal, and then Jordan, Algeria at 10 o'clock. So the World Cup continues. We know the next match in Kansas City will be on Thursday when the Netherlands take over Arrowhead and host Tunisia.
They've already taken over.
I know, man.
The city. They're like, what if Messi has another hat trick today? Just kidding. He's only had one in the World Cup, but who knows?
Yeah.
Don't put it past him. College World Series, Oklahoma finally lost yesterday. So College World Series, Game 3 tonight between UNC and OU. Winner, of course, is winner takes all, gets the national title. North Carolina has never won one. Oklahoma's won a couple in their past, but you get that game tonight as well.
Elsewhere on What's Trending, Wyndham Clark won the U.S. Open. We talked about him a little bit earlier in the show. Bink thinks he's a villain and good for golf. We'll see if he actually is going to take on that role. But it's his second U.S. Open title. And he tried to maybe make it interesting late, but he becomes the 9th wire-to-wire winner of the U.S. Open. He closed the round 3 over 73. It did get down to 1 stroke late on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I loved it. I love what Wyndham Clark did. And, of course, I think golf, they finally got their villain. He was booed in New York. I think I made it extra tough, so full credit to Wyndham Clark getting that win. Kansas City Current forward Timwa Chawinga agrees to a new contract through 2029. What's the breakdown on Timwa Gold?
The breakdown? She's the best player in the league by far.
Simple.
Best player in the league.
MVP,
unbelievably
right?
fun to watch. The speed is unbelievable.
Two-time MVP.
I believe that's accurate. Yeah, she's incredible. And so she was already signed through 2028, so they just added an additional year. Big
Two-time
time.
MVP.
Big time. Lastly, on What's Trending, Giannis Antetokounmpo expected to be traded before the start of the NBA draft. That is tomorrow, so it could happen at any point in time. The Celtics and Heat are emerging as finalists, according to reports today from ESPN, to land Giannis. So the Celtics, if that happens, remember, that would involve a Jaylen Brown aspect to this trade as well, or if one way or the other, whether it's directly or indirectly. But Giannis, we all know he's on the move. Giannis to Boston makes a ton of sense. I don't get the heat on the Giannis part of it.
Not taking his talents to South Beach.
But what does that do for Boston if I tell you all of a sudden Giannis and Jason Tatum next year?
It's your...
And they won a title with Jaylen Brown and Tatum, but they're just ready to pivot. I don't know. That's what's trending, guys.
Giannis is interesting just because the style of play that he has is... I mean, it suits Boston because they got so many shooters. Their roster in Milwaukee stunk. That's why they weren't good.
On the move. Finally.
Jaylen Brown will be happy too to get out of there, I think. He gets to go be the man in Milwaukee, conceivably. Because it was rumored to be like a 3-team trade or a 4-team trade. Now it just seems like it'll just be the 2. Miami doesn't want to give up to gut their roster for one guy, which I think makes complete sense. The Celtics have picked so well, though, in the draft. It fits what their game plan is probably a little bit more than Miami for what they'd have to give up for Giannis. I don't know. It's just tough to... I don't know how good Giannis is going to be with either of those teams. Wherever he ends up.
So we'll see. That's a trade that could happen at any time heading into tomorrow's NBA draft. You mentioned Cags, though, Bink. Let's talk some Royals baseball before we get into Dusty May leaving for the NBA. Jack Caglione, it was 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, we said, all right, he's starting to figure it out. Okay, he's figured it out. The worries, if anybody was concerned he wouldn't figure it out, that should be behind you. All right, the next step was, when would the star power, the power literally from his bat start to really, really show up? Well, that's happened. He's now fully looking like the top prospect, the superstar potential type of bat in terms of power. It's happening. He has 4 homers in his last 3 games. He might be the best player in the AL this month. When they hand out the AL Player of the Month, there's this scenario where he actually could win that. He's got 16 RBI this month. He's hitting 379. He's been phenomenal. He looks like he's in a groove. The confidence is sky high. And I had a friend text me, as I told you earlier, about could he be in the home run derby? And at first I was like, okay, this was when he had 10 home runs. And so I'm like, he's like 15 off the pace. And then he gets a couple more this weekend, and now he's got 12. And then we looked up the numbers this morning, guys, and not only the track record in prior home run derbies, but there are 23 players in the AL that have more home runs than him. Now, 3 of them at least are hurt and not going to even be eligible. Guys like Aaron Judge and Mike Trout, for example. So, okay, that means he's in the top 20 in AL home runs. And then we just know there's some players that will opt out. Like, will Byron Buxton do it again? He just did it a year or so ago. So, okay, maybe that's another. So then all of a sudden you're down to 19. And baseball maybe wants to promote a young star. I'm guessing he would certainly accept. If he continues on this pace, is 15, 16 home runs possible for the All-Star break? A week and a half ago, I would have said no chance. He's got 12 now. I think he's going to at least get to 15 or 16 before we get to the All-Star break. And who knows what as hot as he is right now. So I guess what I'm saying is I think there's about a 40 to 50% chance that he could end up getting an opportunity in the home run derby. I don't know if I agree. I know I was driving in and I heard Logan and the guys talking about the All-Star game, as in him being an All-Star. I think he would have to be an alternate. I know he has good numbers in a lot of offensive outfield categories. I think that's a little trickier. You know, getting 2 players on a team that's last place or near last place in baseball is really tough. Bobby's going to be the shortstop. I think we all know that. So I don't know about All-Star game. I think home run derby is a real possibility, though.
I think a real possibility. Jazz Chisholm had, 17 home runs before the home run derby last year he was in. Bobby had 16 before the one 2 years ago, even though it was, in his where he grew up in that area. But I think there's a great chance because he would want to be there. I think Major League Baseball looking for somebody who wants to be there, hits moonshots, exit velocity is ridiculous, and Jack would absolutely 100% welcome the opportunity to do that. He's basically what Major League Baseball needs to promote, and you got this guy, this magical swing, and he hits the ball so hard, and he's a big dude, and being in the home run derby, I just think it'd be a perfect fit for Major League Baseball because, around even MLB Network, they're always talking about Jack and his power and, just how good he can be. But it's not like he just emerged on the stage. They've been talking about him for a long time on MLB Network. And even there was a lot of talk, during the WBC and everything else when he was playing for Team Italy. But, yeah, he's on the stage, meaning they talk about him when they talk about the Kansas City Royals. And he's always a visible sign with the Royals, and I think Major League Baseball would take the opportunity to market him. And, again, hitting 4 home runs this past weekend. What's he going to do before July 14th is when the All-Star game is? So it's July 13th, for the home run derby?
Yeah, and they make the decision a couple days or a week or so before. The thing that
new rules.
The thing he has going for him in terms of if baseball does step in with this a bit more is that they're absolute moonshots when he hits these home runs here recently too. These are no doubters. He's getting every bit of it. And who at the home run derby wouldn't want to see someone with potential to hit consistently some 480-foot home runs?
That velocity is ridiculous. So yeah, it's perfect fit.
Right now, what he's doing this month, this is the stuff he was doing in the minors. Maybe not the 100% of it, but you know what I mean. Like this is much closer to what he was doing in the minors. Just pure power.
Yep. Every time he comes to play, I call him a don't go grab a beer guy when he comes up to the plate because you never know how far it's going to go. He's truly fun to watch. I mean, it's given a reason for the Royals in the season they're having. When Jack comes up, it's been fun to watch. Like he's been one of those guys that
he's the bright spot.
It's always been fun when he came up and stuff. There's that buzz, but there's a lot of times it wasn't kind of that buzz. It's always been that way with Bobby. When he gets up to the plate, you don't know what's going to happen. But Jack has clearly become that guy, something to hang your hat on when you watch the Kansas City Royals. You want to see what he's doing. He's definitely emerged as one of the superstars. My only regret is it didn't happen and coincide with the team staying healthy and the pitching staff and the players and, Vinny and everybody, that lineup. Like how good this lineup could have been if he would have been this way all along.
Yeah, I mean, that's the story of the season.
I mean, adding this and Carter with this group. I mean they're starting to score runs again, which is good. They've, not any stranger to getting the runs across. The 14 the other night, at least getting the 10 yesterday. I mean, they've been fun to watch.
But what you said there, that's the story of the season. The core group got off to a horrendous start, buried themselves, and then on top of that, the injuries happened, and it's now just about watching Jack Caglione continue to develop and seeing Carter Jensen continue to develop. And is there anybody else that emerges to look ahead to 2027? And then, of course, ultimately the trade deadline and what they're going to do there. But Jack Caglione, it's a massive development for this regime. I mean, he's a player that has to be this kind of player for them moving forward.
So 4 games in Tampa, then he's got the Chicago White Sox after that. I can see Jack, getting maybe 4 more before this road trip comes back. Yeah, it's pie in the sky. But again, he just did it this weekend, so.
I think 15 is definitely obtainable now. And if he gets to me, like the All-Star game or the home run derby, I feel like you probably at least got to get to 15 to be in the derby. Like I don't think you're putting a guy in that has 12 or 13 home runs. And fortunately, he's got 12 already. So it's something I'll be keeping an eye on. And actually now will give me a little bit more reason to pay attention just because of that. And what are the power numbers for him heading into the month of July? And is there a chance he ends up as the AL Player of the Month?
Well, I'm looking at it. Tropp's given up the 14th most home runs this season. So,
all right.
See what Jack can do.
All right. And that's where they'll be, as you said, later on this week, including a weird 11 a.m. game on Thursday.
Too bad he couldn't have been in the Vegas series where there was 5 home runs of 460 or more, and there's only been 2 around Major League Baseball when the A's went and played in Vegas for 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
What's Chicago? What are the White Sox sit for giving up home runs?
So this is okay. So this text,
it's 18th.
This is like a decade-long misconception, I guess, or worry. And we can ask Vern about it. Someone says, you don't want him in the home run derby. He's figuring it out. Let's ruin it. That's been like such a old, outdated stance of the guy's going to go to the derby and just ruin his swing now. Like, are we really fearful of that? I don't buy into that.
That used to be a lot more. Do you know where the Royals, by the way, Kauffman Stadium, bringing the fences in, did that make a huge difference for home runs at the K?
I mean, we're 3 months into the fences. They didn't bring the fences in for 3 months just to see the results in 3 months. We'll have to see over time.
4th fewest home runs in Major League Baseball at the K.
Oh, I know. No, I agree with you that it hasn't done anything. Yeah, I'm just saying yet. I don't think we should now have a definitive conclusion on bringing in the
Cardinals,
fences.
Giants, Pirates, then Royals.
Yeah.
So it hasn't, still a long way to go, but sitting here in June 22nd or whatever, 4th fewest home runs have been hit at the K, despite bringing in the fences.
Yeah.
It's just interesting.
No, I think more of a sample size, but there's a chance it's not going to do anything the way they thought. But it's to definitively say that the fences being brought in didn't change anything after only seeing it for 3 months. How much is that more a product also of the Royals?
Everybody thinks the Yankees are a bandbox. 3rd most. Dodger Stadium has given up the most home runs in Major League Baseball, 128. Great American is number 2.
Yeah, the Dodgers have a hell of a lineup.
Savannah Bananas were all weekend in Great America Ballpark.
Well, that ballpark's tiny.
Mm-hmm. Right by the river there, Ohio River.
Oh, you've been there. That's right.
Yeah. It's a nice stadium. Love that stadium.
It's the Great American Ballpark, as they say, Bink. Yeah,
it's fun.
That's the electric company, I think, or whatever.
They had Adam Dunn come back and play for the Bananas for a hit.
Oh, cool. Okay. By the way, this year we've partnered with KCUC, who is donating $50 to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for every home run the boys in blue hit this season. 1 in 8 men will face prostate cancer. Early detection saves lives at KCUC. Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. You see the best in KC. Schedule today at kcuc.com. All right, we mentioned in What's Trending, Dusty May leaving Michigan, finalizing a deal to be the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA, and link up there with Cooper Flagg and try to build something there. First reaction, are you surprised by this in its own right? I am, only because it's June 22nd, not that a coach left for the NBA, because there's some more details on his decision coming out in the last hour or so, which is that the college game was wearing on him a little bit. And we've heard this from other coaches before that don't want to be part of the system. And so, I don't think he would have left to take the Sacramento Kings job necessarily. So the Dallas job, of course, is way more attractive because Cooper Flagg is there. But some of this is, despite winning a national title, in a weird way, did that make it easier for him to leave? That I'm sick of this college stuff and dealing with it. And then also, I already won at the college level. So what am I trying to prove there? Let me go to the NBA and see what I can do there.
Michigan's athletic department's definitely taken some hits this past year, whether it's in football now with basketball. But with the NCAA and the constant things going around, I've never seen the NCAA, taking the task really with the Brendan Sorsby news. I rarely see people backing up what the NCAA was doing when it came to Brendan Sorsby before he decided, hey, I'm just going to go do the supplemental draft. But it just shows you where college athletics is right now in the whole deal. Guys wait to jump to the pros or not. It's becoming incredibly attractive to go to the NBA if you're in college coach, the NFL. If you're a college coach, and I don't think there's as much reach anymore, especially with college football, to the pros, because it's never been the same when technically guys can jump anytime they want to in the transfer portal until Congress kind of changes these rules that they're working on doing now. But I think the NCAA is just such a mess right now. If you did take a few years to go somewhere else and then come back to college, which he clearly could, and he'd have his choice of jobs if he came back to college. But this would be his chance to go to the pros. All guys want to do it. They want to showcase themselves. He's got the national title already in the bag, and they want to take their chance at the next level, knowing they could clearly come back And I don't think it's a bad idea right now for coaches to make the jump until the NCAA figures out what they're going to do, get some kind of reform in NCAA basketball and football and everything with the NCAA.
Maybe Dusty May turns into Steve Kerr and is unbelievable. I don't know. For his sake, I hope that's the case. There's also, of course, the possibility if it doesn't work, though, he ends up right back in college basketball, even if he says he's tired of it and maybe it gets corrected and comes back. I know locally, in terms of the reason why this is interesting, is just that when Drew and I and Cody were having conversations, and I think a lot of people, about Bill Self months back and whether or not he was going to retire or not, and we all know he, of course, has not retired and he's coaching, Dusty May's name was at the top of the list, I think, for a lot of people, including myself, of who I would have wanted to go and coach Kansas. Now, I recognize that Jacques Vaughn is the leader in the clubhouse, but I still would have preferred Dusty May. And then we mentioned names like TJ Otzelberger, Tommy Lloyd, right? And those guys are all staying put. And so the reason why this is interesting from the KU perspective is that, let's say Bill only coaches this year and he's done. Well, Dusty May's not going to be one and done in Dallas, I don't think. So that name, the list of names to take over at Kansas, you could argue, at least if it's in the next, if Bill Self only coaches one more year, the list of names is even shorter than it was back in March, because I don't think Dusty May would be available, even if you think he was interested in the job before, which I'm not so sure he was. And so it's another hit, unless you think Dusty May in 3 years goes back to the college game and somehow Bill Self is still coaching at that point in time and then hangs it up.
I just think college coaching right now is so different, so difficult. I look at these college coaches, regardless of the sport, thinking you're constantly having to recruit your own players to stay because they can hop and just jump in the transfer portal whenever they want to, or turn pro earlier, like the case of college basketball is concerned. But name, image, and likeness, and the money and all the reforms they've done to that, who can pay the players or not, how much money the school can dole out. I just think that college athletics have gotten so confusing, and it's becoming such a joke, even for head coaches. You're sitting here going, man, this is much, much different than the way it used to be, maybe when they came up and they played, and all of a sudden where they sit now. But these college coaches really struggling to draw at straws right now as far as the NCAA rules are concerned, especially with name, image, and likeness added into it, that I don't understand anybody not wanting to take the jump to the pros at this point, the way college athletics have gotten. I mean, honestly, it's not become that attractive like it used to be. I definitely think that way in football.
Coaches have taught coaches. I mean, some guys at the end of their career. I mean, it's why it's why Jay Wright stepped away. You know, ultimately, Roy was getting close, but it's why Roy Williams stepped away.
And to be honest with you, Nick Saban probably did too.
Yeah. No, I think it is.
And Dabo Swinney probably wants to.
But now we don't know what ultimately is going to happen with this college sports bill in the Senate and everything. There will be a point in time, even if that's not the bill, there will be a point in time where the younger coaches, it's just they're already used to coming up and coaching in this environment, and it won't be so drastic. It was way more drastic for Jay Wright when all of a sudden there was this huge shift. You know what I mean? Like if you were someone that was coaching for 30 years and all of a sudden they changed, that's tougher for you to get to get on board with. If you're a young coach, fast forward 15 years from now, if this is just the system that we have, it's not going to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to draw you away from the game as much as it probably is for some of these veteran coaches.
It's the weird situation. Even Dusty May's own conference can't decide what it wants to do, because the Big Ten supposedly, they don't fall in line with Congress. The Big Ten and the SEC don't like the new rules that they put out there.
That's because they have to give up money. They're going to make less money. That's
when
why.
His own conference can't get along with what the new rules that Congress wants to do, and the SEC has always talked about branching away with the Big Ten. I'm just saying it's so in flux, including with his own conference he was in, what the direction is going forward.
Who takes the Michigan job? And remember, in 5 days, players will have 15 days to leave Michigan if they want.
So a total of 20.
If they want. Now, maybe to Drew's point, if they promote an assistant, you promote the
who's the betting favorite now for Michigan?
You promote an assistant that had a relationship with one of the recruits that recruited them, and you hope that they can keep that player in house. If you're Michigan, what's the odds?
Who's the betting odds now for?
I don't know. I haven't seen them. I don't know if they're out.
I haven't seen them put out. I've been looking for it.
Drew mentioned a couple of the names, and those are the names that are going to circulate. Once anybody that was in the prior cycle will get mentioned. St. Louis's head coach, I think, would probably be somebody that they're going to try to, if they go outside the program. But they might just say, all right, it's already June. We're going to promote somebody, and I don't know if it'll be on an interim basis or a 1 year, a short-term contract or something, and just see how it goes. I don't know. I don't know what Michigan does. I just
they
know it's
call
going to
everybody.
Somebody's going to leave that was committed there now. I mean, I don't know about how many, but they are not going to be able to hold on to every last person. Some coach will be able to convince some kid to leave now that Dusty May's not there. Maybe it's not their top guy, but somebody's leaving.
Yeah, I would assume that would be what's going to happen. I mean, Brad Stevens you'll call, T.J. Otzelberger you'll call, Ryan Odom at Virginia I would call. Somebody had mentioned Greg Gard. I would not like that.
That's your guy. That's your guy, Wisconsin.
I would not like that. But from a coaching standpoint and development standpoint, he would make a ton of sense, and he knows the conference well. If you're going to go small school, then Josh Schertz from St. Louis makes sense.
How long did Billy Donovan take from winning a title to go to the NBA?
We won it in 2007, went to the NBA in I don't know what year it was, but
he was close. Larry Brown did it. John Beilein took Michigan that national title, didn't he? And he jumped to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
They never won one, but he took them to the national title.
And then he jumped to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Billy Donovan coached the Thunder in 2015, so he was at Florida still well after. Like he did not leave like just a couple years. I mean, he won the titles at Florida, and he didn't leave to the NBA until 2015.
Brad Stevens left shortly after the run with Butler.
The very next year, though, to your point, is not something we've really seen.
Yeah. No. I'm just curious. I just don't think college coaching right now is the way it used to be. And I think a lot of guys are worried about it.
I think Kelvin Sampson hit the nail on the head. I think it was Kelvin Sampson that said, I mean, it's a young man's game. You know, that's what coaching is now. More young coaches are getting hired, whether it be professionally or collegiately. There's a lot there. It's a young man's game.
Yeah, and Dusty May still is considered fairly young. He's 49. I mean, he's 49 years old. He's one of the younger coaches, actually, if you think about it, big time programs, I should say, in college basketball. All right, coming up next, guys, let's talk about what the NFL is finally going to do with referees, as in holding them accountable, and the random question of the day right here on Cody and Gold.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feeling the squeeze of high prices? Then stretch your budget this Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. Stock up and save big with 99-cent deals throughout the store. Get special recipe brats, pork loin ribeye, Dole salad kits, and more for just 99 cents. Fill your cart for less with red-hot deals on hundreds of items. Order online or through the Hy-Vee app and leave the shopping to us. Don't miss the 99-cent sale this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their match day meat bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here with Rob Side at Rob Side Ford. Rob, I smell a grill. What's cooking?
Kevin, the grills are fired up, and so are the deals. Right now at Rob Site Ford, it's the Ford Employee Pricing Sales Event with the best deals we've had in the past 12 months.
Now that's saying something. What are we talking?
Employee pricing on virtually every new Ford on our lot, plus even more dealer discounts on top.
So how hot do these deals get?
Up to $17,500 off brand new F-150s at Rob Site Ford, plus huge savings on Expedition, Explorer, Bronco Sport, Bronco, and more.
Wow, that's 5 alarm hot.
Exactly, and unlike Kevin's Burgers, these deals are coming out juicy.
All right, I walked into that one.
Shop Rob Site Ford, Kansas City's top-rated Ford store on Google. 4.8 stars and nearly 3,500 reviews.
Rob Site Ford, 135th and State Line, or robsite.com.
Buy right, Rob Site.
I hope you're sitting down. The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on monthly premiums with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Matt B. and KC at BBS Insurance's Freedom of Choice plan now. You don't have to wait. Their plan lets you use any doctor. has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you are a small business owner or pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive. Call Matt B. in KC for an instant quote over the phone at 816-205-4664. That's 816-205-4664. Or go to bbsinsurance.net. That's bbsinsurance.net. They will customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government.
Gomer's voted Casey's #1 liquor store, family owned and operated since 1969. With excellent price, selection, and service, Gomer's has helped customers find the perfect libation for any occasion for over 50 years.
When it's time to find the good stuff you're looking for, you find it at Gomer's.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel's changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore with FanDuel's Super Sub. If your player's subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically transfers to the substitute who replaces them. Go to FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook's the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You know that weird smell your AC makes when you turn it on? Ooh, you really shouldn't. Luckily, you can just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ah! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Look who has extra pep in their step.
Well, I just finished my to-do list. Gas tank is full, tonight's dinner plans are set, grocery shopping is complete, and I even got everything for those barbecues and pool parties we have planned. You know what's even better?
What?
Every one of those stops gets me a bit of money back.
How are you doing that?
By using Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app where I earn cash back on gas, groceries, and dining out. They even gave me a cashback bonus on my first grocery trip.
So that extra pep comes from all that cash back. Looks like I need to download Upside.
You really do.
Earn cash back on errands and everyday essentials. Download Upside and use promo code SNAP5 to earn an extra $5 cash back on your first purchase at one of over 100,000 available locations. That's promo code SNAP5 for an extra $5 cash back. Remember, use promo code SNAP5.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Join us at 96.5 The Fans World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut on State Line, June 25th with the drive starting at 2 and kickoff at 9. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933.
For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan, as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
Back here on Cody and Gold, we're keeping an eye on some of the soccer action going on. First match of the day, 33rd minute. Group J, Argentina, Austria, scoreless. Early going. No hat trick so far.
Because Messi missed a penalty kick, that's why.
Is that right?
That's why it's scoreless right now. He yanked it.
Wow.
Huh. Arrowhead magic, man.
That's right. It's Argentina should just play in Kansas City rest of the tournament.
There's been some epic performances there.
There absolutely have. So we'll keep an eye on that. We got 3 more matches after this. And don't forget to join us at 96.5 The Fan's World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut on State Line, June 25th. That's this Thursday. The drive starting at 2, and then kickoffs at 9, a late one. We'll be giving away coolers and prizes to those in attendance, presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933. We'll get to the random question of the day here in about 8 minutes or so. I believe Drew has one for us. We'll do that. You guys can always chime in on the J. Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. Video stream up and running on all socials, YouTube, Twitter, X, Facebook, etc. So the NFL is finally doing something that I think we have all asked for. It's not going full-time with officiating. That'd be the next step. But the new CBA between the NFL and the NFL Referees Association is emphasizing competition. And it's mentioned in this article from ESPN that underperforming officials could be assigned to the UFL, which is the spring football league that just wrapped up like a week or so ago, by the way. And the decision would come following review of the officials who underperformed during the season and were not assigned to a playoff game. Those officials would then work with their supervisors to review each of their calls and identify any mistakes and mechanics, and if necessary, assign them to work in the UFL. Now, we don't know the exact details. How many officials are they relegating, basically optioning officials down to the minors?
I'm shocked, the whole UFL-NFL connection, because you really haven't heard of any connection between developing players in that league. But the officials, I guess so. It would be incredibly embarrassing, man.
No, it would be humbling for a lot of them.
Oh, a lot of them need it, but that would be – I'm just curious if they would actually show up. But
well, if they want to get back up.
Sure.
If you want to get back up from the UFL, let's say you get sent down to the UFL and then you correct your things and somebody else makes a mistake at the NFL level, they get sent down, you get called back up. I mean, is that you said they're doing a practice squad?
Everybody wants that league, that the NFL to have a minor leagues, which I've always said is college football form. And this is an interesting situation, but 12-team practice squad is basically what it is for the officials. So you're one of the 12. They probably won't be all the way up to 12 by the time the NFL season starts, but that's kind of the limit. 12-person taxi squad, you could call it, whatever you want, but it's essentially a practice squad for officials.
I like it. The concept makes sense to me. There are a lot of questions, though, with it. One is, how long does it take for this cycle to work? Because if they're implementing it this year, they're not sending anybody down, October 15th, and then he's going to – the spring league doesn't start till April or March. So if this year, it sounds like from what I read, at the end of this year, they're going to have their grades and evaluations, and not all officials get playoff games. And when you don't get a playoff game, that means you're going to go into this review period with the supervisors. And then your supervisor is going to say, not correctable at this level. Let's send you to the spring league, see how you do there, and then we'll call you back up next season. That feels like how it's going. We're joking about the minor leagues thing. They're not going to, on an October 15th game, watch you ref that game and then in the middle of the game pull you out or anything crazy like that you were talking about earlier.
No, that's how the wording was. That's exactly how the wording was. I will say this. They have started to implement this CBA with the refs, because the refs were showing up to OTAs and minicamp now. Typically, they'll show up in training camp, but they were actively working the OTAs for different teams, and, of course, their mandatory minicamps as well. But this says, the way it's worded, they could step in for injured referees, like we saw it with the Texans a few years ago.
Step in after 1 week or something.
Where a ref had to step in and do double duty, essentially, because one of the refs broke his leg, so they'd be able to step in. But according to this, they'll be traveling with the different ref groups to kind of get acclimated to their travel
Smart.
schedule, what they do, and some of them will be at that game and will step in if they have to with the injury. They're not going to pull somebody for being crappy, although I guess they could, but they say they can, but I don't think they'll do it.
Well, again, I just think the wording's bad. They're not pulling guys mid-game unless they're hurt. I mean, that's crazy. You missed that face mask. We got word from New York, and it's the second quarter where they're not pulling guys in game.
From the VP of officiating, they can step in and work for individuals who are struggling or
step
get
in during
hurt.
the season.
I know, but they added that comma and get hurt. That's why.
Bink, you and I have watched. Bink,
I agree. They're not going to pull.
You don't actually.
I think it was poorly worded, but that's how the wording was.
Okay, but Bink, they are not. Unless the official gets hurt in game, they're not calling up Brian in the press box to come down and officiate the second half because this guy sucked and missed a call in the first half. Come on.
I agree with you 100%.
Now, Carl Sheffer is getting DFA.
I think the wording was terrible, but I agree with you.
You know, like if it's a bad call happens and they decide to boot the ref the next week, that's great.
There's no foul in the play for a block in the back. Timeout.
Maybe you get your feelings hurt.
I would have pulled him then.
Yeah, you're rattled. If you get rattled like that, maybe they should yank him. Maybe they should. By the way, we just had a goal in the Argentina match. There you go. Argentina 1, Austria 0.
Was it Messi?
38th minute. I did not see. No, I haven't seen. I don't know for sure, actually, now that I think about it. I just saw them celebrating. I didn't see the goal itself. Did Drew catch it? I don't know. I looked over and I saw them celebrating and the score
looks
changed.
Like it might have been Messi. They're all congratulating.
I mean, it's usually a safe guess, you know. Argentina scored? Messi? Sure. It was Messi.
And Martinez.
It was Messi. It was Messi. So he's got 4 goals. He's got 4 goals in the World Cup already, and he still has another half to go in this game.
So this makes him the all-time leading scorer ever in World Cup history because he tied it at Arrowhead. So he's now the all-time leader.
Jeez,
it's a historic goal.
No,
17.
it is. No, it is. He continues to make history. And by the way, scoreboard updates brought to you by Surfside, made with real vodka, 0 bubbles. It's not a seltzer. It's Surfside. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly. Yeah, I just watched the replay. Ridiculous shot. Yep. Definitely Messi. Definitely.
I love this from the officials. They will learn the terminology, how to travel, the pace and the speed. The whole experience.
Good. Train them up, Bink.
Fly in first class and stay in nice hotels. You got to train for this stuff.
I don't know if they're flying first class.
Oh, I guarantee you many of them do.
Well, that's their choice.
Well, I'm saying they take care of officials, man. They travel well. They stay in nice hotels. They eat nice food.
They make good money. They make then they also have their other jobs.
You're on the practice squad. You love the travel and the pace.
But the pay scale is going to be different. If you're one of the UFL guys that are starting in the UFL and you're an alternate, you're not making that kind of money yet. That's going to be the interesting dynamic between those guys. Is that these officials that are in the NFL already making $200,000. The UFL officials, what do you think they're making? 50,000?
Probably a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, we just got a yellow card in the match, too. I don't know what happened. Things getting interesting. Things getting a little chippy, Bank, over there.
They will be able to learn terminology, pace, speed, travel, as well as working those NFL games. And the officials will now be looking over their shoulders because there's accountability. Because players you can cut, they say.
I don't know about you. Most people
head coaches get fired. Yeah. Why can't this happen to the officials?
No, they should be held accountable.
I always thought they should do press conferences.
Everybody that's listening to this show right now, unless they're their own boss and they own their own business, you're held accountable in your workplace. So why should the officials not be?
I know if there's a questionable call in a game, the pool reporters, there's usually one pool reporter assigned to ask those questions. And that so one pool reporter can ask the officials. It's not videoed or there's no audio of it, but he'll go ask the questions. I always thought that officials after games should have press conference, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you're not alone. I've said why it'll never happen, but I think most fans agree with you. And you can't have an official holding press conferences after games. You think people are already verbally harassing people on social media. Can you imagine an official now is doing press conferences after?
No, they're harassing players too. Yeah. And their families, so it'd be the same.
Yeah, the officials don't have the same security that the NFL players do, though. They don't. They simply don't.
That's where, as a league, when you make billions of dollars like they do, they should step in and they have that security. That's the NFL's
but they're
problem.
not they're not full-time officials. You know what I mean? That also needs to happen.
Which is also the NFL's problem.
Well, this is from the league. It plans to elevate some practice squad members to work regular season games for developmental purposes,
So
regardless of circumstance. So
that's ridiculous.
Exactly.
That's the worst one. You're going to have a ref that's inexperienced refing a game, and they're going to miss a call.
Well, they
just like the
almost-
replacement refs do, and then everybody's going to complain.
Yes,
It's
they
gonna be a
almost
problem.
they're going to ask that question. Was this a replacement referee, a practice squad official coming up? But they're going to be in regular games.
Nope.
This year, I'm just interested in which a noon game with Arizona. Which game are they going to do? I just found that that's interesting to go ahead and use them in regular season games, which sounds like they're going to.
We'll see how it plays out, Bink. We'll see how it plays out. Let's get to the random question today.
Random question.
913-586-7965. All right, Drew said he has us handled today. When
I
it
actually
comes
have
to,
one for tomorrow. I'll save.
Oh, you
I actually do.
We're back to this. You guys can flip a coin.
No, mine usually suck. We're going to go with Drew's, but I actually have one.
Bink said his is for tomorrow.
Okay.
913-586-7965. So I saw this on Twitter, and I'll make it local for the Chiefs. I know that the Chiefs have obviously won Super Bowls recent enough at this point. Your answer might change because of that. But the question was that I saw on Twitter over the weekend was, would you rather your NFL team win a Super Bowl or see the U.S. win the World Cup? I'll include the Royals in this as well.
Okay.
Would you rather the Royals or Chiefs win another title or see the U.S. win the World Cup? 913-586-7965.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear everybody else. For me, this is simple. I would obviously rather have the Royals or Chiefs win their respective championship. Yeah, I mean, we all are having fun rooting on the United States, but the U.S. winning a World Cup does not mean as much to me personally as the Royals winning another World Series or the Chiefs winning a Super Bowl this year. Yeah, it's absolutely the Chiefs winning a Super Bowl, the Royals winning a World Series, or your college team winning a championship. That's for me. This is easy. I don't know where you're at.
What about you, Drew? Where do you see it?
I would rather.
This might surprise you.
I would rather see I'd rather see the Bengals in the sense that's win a Super Bowl.
I agree.
But I do think it goes to show you not that we lack pride in our country, but technically it wouldn't matter whether the Kansas City had the Chiefs or not. You've been American longer than you have been a Chiefs fan, so your answer could obviously be, or you've been an American longer than you have been a fan of that. So seeing your country win a World Cup would obviously be spectacular. But I think that's where we're at with sports in America. Is we get so fascinated by things that are not necessarily represented with the country. We're so used to America being the best at basketball or the best at football or the best at whatever sport it is, in the Olympics and stuff, that we get kind of numb to that side of things, and we'd rather see the favorite team that we root for, whether it be the NBA, NFL, or baseball, win a title over the country that you live in and always have to win a World Cup. I think is it's interesting, but I fit in that category of it would be a bigger deal to see the Bengals for me. But I think that it goes to show how Americans kind of stand with their fandom compared to other countries like Argentina or Austria or others.
Yeah, you ask that question in another country, it's not even close. Of course, they would say their country win the World Cup. But I think if we put up a poll, I think this is very lopsided. I would guess a majority, and I'm seeing some come in on the text side. I would be shocked if more than 20% of people answered the U.S. winning the World Cup over their respective NFL, NBA, MLB team winning their championship. I just think it means more to fans that their individual team that they live and die by. I understand your point about, of course, yes, we were born in the United States and all that. I just don't think from a soccer perspective in the U.S., people care more about that than they do their team that they watch every single year compete for a championship.
I mean, you can even take it to the Olympics. Would you rather see America win a gold medal in basketball?
That's an even easier for me to answer, for me to say no.
Which, again, I think that still it goes to, and I don't know, not that we're numb to that, but I think we've gotten so used to the United States being so good at all these things that it doesn't matter as much anymore.
I actually think it'd be funny if we won the World Cup, to be honest with you.
Funny, or you would rather it happen?
What would you rather have happen? The Royals and Chiefs win a title?
Next, you mean. Of course, they never won it, and the rest of the world would be shocked.
So you'd rather
at
the
U.S.
World Cup?
winning a gold medal in this. They would, because they've never done it. You said they've never won back-to-back games since 1930.
Correct, yes,
it would be the ultimate upset. I mean, we look at the 1980 Olympic hockey team as the greatest team to ever do something, and yeah, it would be great to be trolling the rest of the world that America that. All its athletes are spread across the NHL, the NBA, the NFL, you name it. For the U.S. to win, this would be insane because nobody's given them any credit. Nobody's given them respect to win it. And had they do it, I think it'd be awesome.
Well, that's part of the reason why I watched it, or part of the reason why I asked it, because I knew that this would kind of be the response. Like I had a feeling that this would be it. Someone said even Argentina has their own home teams and leagues. Yes, but if you were to say, would you rather Barcelona win La Liga or Spain win the World Cup, they're going to say Spain wins the World Cup 10 times out of 10, I think, because, and maybe it's the same thing over there. Barcelona's so good, Real is so good that they get kind of numb to that side of things, or it's because it's the country that they're in that they want, the country.
Like, I think
it's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you asked a Missouri Tigers fan right now, would you rather go and win a national championship in football this year or the U.S. win the World Cup? You'll get laughed off. You can't even finish the question. People will laugh you out of the room.
I mean, the same thing.
It's obvious.
It's
obvious the local team.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. If you were to ask an England fan, would you rather watch Notts County, who plays in like the third division of
they would say
football,
their country there.
They would still say their country.
Yeah.
Over. If you could say Notts County, who's never sniffed the Premier League title before, probably in their history, would you rather them win the Premier League or England win the World Cup? They would say England win the World Cup over their club team doing anything that never has done anything still, which is fascinating to me. It does make it very interesting how we would view those things compared to other countries.
I just think U.S. winning it because you think
you're right though, Bink. It's the world's biggest tournament. It is the biggest event in sports history.
If you win it, Team USA wins it.
Yes.
Didn't have the expectations to win it at all. I just think it would be unreal.
Yeah, again, I think in that, like, what's the better story? That's what to me, you're saying, what's the better story? What's more surprising?
What would you want?
For me personally, the question was for you, what would actually mean more and make you happier?
Yes.
And that's why my answer is the Royals winning a World Series, the Chiefs winning another Super Bowl, Kansas winning a national championship. That stuff, me personally, I will get greater joy out of than just the U.S. winning the World Cup. It would be amazing, all-time story. We'll never forget it. But I will get more enjoyment out of my local teams winning. That's all.
I just think because they haven't even sniffed doing it, and the fact that they did it and the rest of the world, doesn't give the United States soccer team that much respect, and they go out and win the whole damn thing, that would be just epic.
Yeah. Oh, it would be epic. Yeah.
Completely. Yeah. So I would side with that.
Good question. 913-586-7965.
Because I just think that when you think about the lack of respect they're given and just...
Someone says if the U.S. wins, we agree that worldwide they have to call it soccer. Those are the rules. The U.S. wins it, they have to call it soccer. That's what happens. That's
shocked around the world.
That also,
awesome.
For a text like that makes me want them to not win. Like, can you, I don't want, no. Can we, what are we doing?
The person's joking, Drew. It's okay.
I mean, it's a rarity for us to win in soccer and the Bengals to win a Super Bowl. I get it. Both of them are really extreme. They've never happened, either one.
Well, yeah, exactly. So, which is why, but for me, though, so if we're talking, it's really tough for me because I think maybe if the Bengals had won, maybe I'd be like, you know what, I'd rather the U.S. win a World Cup. Maybe it's but you're attached to that team more than you are the U.S. soccer team. And I think some of that is because we don't watch soccer to that effect. But it is interesting. Like if the United States if they had football in the Olympics,
which we're going to,
would you? I'm talking about like actual flag football. If they had actual,
if Joe Burrow wins a gold medal, would you rather have a gold medal with Joe Burrow or the Bengals win a title?
I'd rather have the Bengals win a title. Super Bowl. Come on, it's an easy answer again.
But I think that like if there was football in the Olympics and America had a team and would you rather the United States win the gold medal in football or see the Chiefs or Royals win a championship? It's still the Chiefs or Royals win a championship. And I don't know if and I think and again, I don't know where that falls in line with because you would think that's not like national pride, but at the same time, I think we become numb to the idea that our country is so good at these other things that it doesn't matter to people as much anymore. It's cocky and arrogance, I think. but you affiliate more with the teams locally than you do as a country is very interesting.
Did you hear the England fan? We played the audio earlier. The Ecuador fan about Kansas City barbecue, calling it Anthony Bryant. So it was pretty funny. And then also the fan down in Houston or down in Texas talking about barbecue from Japan. This was video from a local affiliate in, I think, Houston as well. England fan talking about Texas barbecue.
Hospitality has been amazing as well.
Really? Have you had any Texas barbecue yet?
I had Texas barbecue yesterday. I had a lovely bit of brisket.
Tell me about it. What was your experience? Is it what you expected?
I went fatties. Do you go fatty or lean?
Yeah.
I went fatty. I went to slow bone, picked it up, put the sauce on it, dropped it in the mouth, melted in my mouth. It was absolutely beautiful. It's the best beef I've had in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
We love to hear that. Did you try any of the other fixins with it or no?
I had a pork chop. I had some pork ribs.
Okay.
I had mac and cheese. The mac and cheese was average though.
Oh.
And the other thing is, what's this Brussels sprouts gratin about? We have Brussels sprouts at Christmas in England. Why'd you have it on your barbecue? I don't know.
I don't know. There's so many questions here.
Yeah.
Tell me what you're doing today. You're heading into Texas Live right now. What's the plan ahead of the match?
We're going to get drunk before the game. We're going to get drunk during the game. And then we're going to get drunk after the game. But all that matters is England wins today.
I love the rabbit hole on social media, guys, of the different fan videos where fans are getting interviewed in every city. In a lot of it, in case they're talking about food, and it's cool to hear them experience that.
I like the excitement over free refills. I mean, the free refills have really been like a story with the international fans. They can't believe it.
Yeah. I haven't seen that.
They've talked about it. The local news.
They're excited about free refills of pop?
Yes, the free refills have become a story.
I brought that up on the show last week. The guy from Italy.
They love free
refills. We didn't have audio, I don't think, of it, did we? Did I miss that? We didn't have audio of it.
Free refills have been very popular.
I don't think we didn't play a clip of it, did we?
I don't know.
It's not in the system. I don't remember. Anyway, so okay, that's the story.
Yeah. There's an Italian guy that was infatuated, was stunned at the free refills at Cheesecake Factory. There was also a British woman that said Olive Garden fettuccine Alfredo is the best she's ever had before.
That's sad.
And there's a lot of other ones.
Here's what it says. In most of Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world, a soft drink is a relatively expensive per unit item.
And you pay per item.
It comes in small. Gas stations and convenience stores, they love the massive fountain drink walls at places like Buc-ee's. Absolutely love it, but the fans are going nuts over free refills in the United States.
Which is why the United States is one of the most obese countries in the world. And we're unhealthy.
All right, up next, let's talk about the U.S.'s thinking of soccer. The U.S. positioned very well moving forward in the World Cup. Could they actually advance further than any of us thought? And ESPN predicted the final offseason move for the Chiefs. We'll see if you agree with it next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. Maybe you're looking for something local. Algeria versus Austria. Currently, if you're saying, hey, you know what? The team over in LFK, what do I like for them? Well, Algeria currently trading at 25%, meaning a $100 trade, could show you a $365 profit. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. For a limited time only, download the Kalshi app and use code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to get $10 when you trade 10. K-A-L-S-H-I, Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no, we help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
I hear the sizzle of the grill. It's time to buy Gates sauces and seasonings for your 4th of July cookout. Make sure to use both for a boost of flavor on your dips, chips, and more. Try Gates salad seasoning on raw or cooked vegetables and sprinkle over corn on the cob to give it that extra flavor pop. Stop in and pick up a couple of slabs of ribs or a party tray to serve this 4th of July. Whichever, Gates has you covered. All 5 locations will be open this 4th of July. Gates has proudly served Kansas City for 80 years. Thanks with love. Have you been diagnosed with head or neck cancer? At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. Proton therapy means increased precision, reducing side effects like dry mouth, difficulty swallowing, and the loss of taste as compared to conventional radiation. If you've been diagnosed, don't wait. Get your second opinion today and see KC's largest, most experienced proton therapy team. Visit kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
I can't raise my arms, I can't climb stairs, and I can't kneel down, which means I can't play with the kids, golf with the guys, or get through a workday without exhausting pain. Hey, it's Bob Fesco, and I'm here to celebrate what you can do. That's exactly what QC Kinetics patients are doing. Not bracing for that next jolt of pain. It's gone. They've moved on, back to living their lives. You've heard me talk about the team at QC Kinetics, and so many of you have already been through their game-changing regenerative treatments, and it's all done right in the office. No missing work, no surgery, no long recovery. The inflammation calms down and the pain backs off. So go find out what you can do. It's a good life out there, folks. Go live it to the fullest. Let's get rid of that pain starting right now. The consultation is totally free. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone. 816-412-6299.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Rob Brenton, and now that the tournament has started here in Kansas City, we're keeping you up to date on Beyond the Pitch KC. So subscribe and download today. The podcast is presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen, and this is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
1 o'clock hour. Throwback here. Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Drew Dixon, Jay Binkley with you. Halftime, Bink, in Argentina-Austria game. 1-0. Messi with the only goal of the match so far. He's got 4 goals, as we said. Let's talk a little soccer, and then I want to get into the Chiefs and ESPN prediction on the final offseason move for every team. We'll see if you like the final move the Chiefs are going to make. Spoiler, it's not Tyreek Hill, according to ESPN. So we'll do that in just a bit. Hope you guys are having a good Monday, good start to the week. The U.S. Is going to have a stress-free week because USA men's national team already clinched its group. They do play Thursday afternoon against Turkey. Turkey's already been eliminated. So other than momentum and pride, there's nothing in the standings that is on the line Thursday, 9 o'clock at night against Turkey. And the U.S. can decide how they want to play guys like Pulisic who are injured or anybody else that might have an ailment and be cautious as they know they're already in the knockout stage. What is so impressive, I guess, with the performance so far, Bink, is one, they won against Australia without Pulisic, but also this was the first time they won consecutive World Cup matches since 1930, which I didn't even know that was a thing. So that's the first year of the World Cup was 1930, I believe. So that tells you where we're at right now, and the U.S. has a chance each week now, the rest of the way, basically, to make history and get more and more fans involved. Because I understand they've gone further than this in the tournament before. That's not the point. The point is the path looks really favorable for them. And we know the TV numbers have been massive already. It's only going to increase as more and more people get behind this men's team moving forward. What's that?
Yeah. Speaking of, did you see the ratings for? We know the first one, Kansas City was number 1. Did you see the ratings in the last one?
I have not. Are they out yet?
I don't know.
I don't know if they have the individual market ratings. They have the overall number. I have not seen the individual market. That might come out today or tomorrow.
Okay. I was just curious what the
I
game
haven't
2
seen
did.
that yet.
Because there was a ton of buzz for that. So just curious. I know it was insane at Belton Peanut. So haven't won back-to-back since 11 years before World War II. That shows how long it's been to win back-to-back games of the World Cup.
Yeah, I think they have a legit chance to get to the semis, and that would not have been something.
I
thought they were going to be eliminated in the round of 16. And yes, that can still happen, but the forecasting on who they might play right this second, it looks like Ecuador will be their first knockout round match, and then depending on how things break, maybe you're playing the Mo Salah in Egypt, and this is all going to be on the West Coast too. They don't have to travel all that much. They get that advantage. Their toughest match on paper right now maybe is a quarterfinal matchup, and that's when it gets real, and that might be Spain, and it's a whole different level of competition there. But I think it's weird. Now the expectation, anything short of quarterfinals, I think everybody's going to be disappointed.
Can you imagine if that game? It's not going to be. It's theoretically it can't be. But can you imagine if that game was here?
Yeah, the U.S. is not playing here.
I mean, I know, but just imagine.
Oh, sure.
If it was
yes,
insane.
It's already been insane. Yeah, the U.S. matches would be unbelievable to have in Kansas City. But
then the question of how much would you pay would come into a question.
Well, look at Drew and I were talking about this last week. The look at you can already, of course, buy tickets to the potential match that might be Portugal and Argentina. Messi versus Portugal's not in their top of their group right now, but let's just say it was Portugal and Argentina. Those tickets are going for $5,000 to $10,000 just to get in.
What's capacity of Arrowhead for about
69?
There was 68 and change, I think, Saturday
for
night.
For these matches, it's right around 69,000.
Same. Close to a sellout again. Was right there at 68.5 or whatever it was there. It was a ton of people. I can imagine how much tickets would go for Team USA.
Ecuador would be really interesting. They've got a really good defense, and they play like an uglier style, so that match would be a little difficult. Egypt won. Egypt's better than Ecuador is. Egypt obviously have Mo Salah. Be really fun. And it's not as good as it looked a couple days ago.
Bosnia.
Last week is the one that looked really good. This one, it's manageable. They're ranked better than Egypt and Ecuador, obviously. But I think when we had Glenn Davis on, he was saying, and the furthest they've made it is technically a round of 16 because round of 32 is what the whole World Cup was originally before they expanded. So them making it to the round of 16 is what they've already done before. Then making it to a quarter is something they've never done before. So or at least in terms of what we've seen. So, I mean.
So top 2 from each group do make it. Then it'll take, 8
and
teams that finish third?
Yes. And the third depends on the group. I don't know the exact group bracket, if you will, Bink. But yes, the third team in some A, B, C, D, and F, G. It just depends on how things go.
So the round of 32 will be against a third-place team?
Let me see. Yes, it'll be the third in either group B, E, F, I, or J is who they would face. So it's still very much so up in the air. And then the team that finishes in the top of Group G is the one that they could potentially face, in that next round, which is where Belgium, Iran, Egypt, and New Zealand in that group. Currently, Egypt is top. Iran has Egypt, so that one is going to be massive for potentially either of those teams getting in. If Egypt beats Iran, then Egypt is top of the group, and then Egypt will be the ones that the U.S. would face in the round of 16. If Iran beats them, and then depending on what Belgium does against New Zealand, then it would go to goal difference. So it could also be Iran, could be Belgium.
It's too early to know for sure.
Of the ones that we've talked about, though, you would not want to play Belgium. That would be the last team that you probably want to face if you're the United States. Iran is probably second, and then you're cool with facing Egypt or New Zealand. Obviously, New Zealand's not going to win.
Imagine the historic, just from the worldwide headlines and implications, U.S. versus Iran.
That would certainly be interesting.
Oh, my goodness.
Iran have played really well too, so that would make me. I'd make it a little bit. That's the second team that you'd not want to face. I would not want to face Iran more than Egypt at all whatsoever, because Iran can be. They're very.
You think the ratings have been massive for the game so far? I mean, you could. Even the person that texts into the show that says they absolutely hate soccer and can't stand anything about the World Cup. That person might be watching if it's the U.S. versus Iran. I'm just saying, that would be, if you're just talking about pure eyeballs and non-sports people wanting to be interested in a soccer game, oh my gosh, that's the answer right there. That'll get people into it. That'll get, you want people, screaming at their television. That'll get people going. My goodness. I think they got a great chance to get to at least the quarterfinals, Pink.
Can the MLS parlay this once it's done?
That's always the question. And
how Team USA does, can they parlay it?
That's just tough
into people enjoying soccer.
It's really tough to do when you watch the quality and the talent that's there right now in the World Cup, and then you go to that.
Well, I just think the challenge is grabbing fans that don't normally gravitate towards it. Like myself, and there's others that we're so enthralled with the NFL and everything else. Can you grab our attention? And so far, it has. I mean, I've been watching it and been enjoying it. And I'm not a huge soccer guy, of course, but I've enjoyed the World Cup.
Yeah, the MLS announced the schedule. They moved their whole schedule around, moving. I think that starts this coming season, right? That was a big tweak. They're shifting their schedule. Drew is more like the European scheduling model. A bit. It's going to. I think they're starting in like January or February. Moving for MLS, they just announced that a couple months ago.
Yeah, I think
I don't know if that's going to work out or not. I don't know. It's dangerous.
I still think it's a good decision for them because you get on the rest of the world's calendar. It means the transfer window matches with the other countries. It just, for me, that's a step in the get respect from the rest of the world in this sport. It's a part of that step in that direction. You get more respect from the rest of the world and soccer leagues across the world if you get on their calendar, and that's what they're doing. So to me, it's a big win for them. The players who play here, I mean, you can talk about how cold it is and everything like that, but in terms of the respect...
Yeah, I wonder for fans in the U.S. if it's a good thing.
In terms of the global respect for the sport, more people will respect American soccer, I think, because of them doing that.
Thinking of soccer, we did have, Drew, I don't know if we did have the soccer game on the televisions in here, and for the last 15 minutes, Bink has managed to break the TVs. So,
first of all, it said you have no signal, so I just...
All I know is I walked out of the room during the break, and the Argentina game was on, and now it's stuck on a pause screen, and Bink's been sweating out. We're going to be on customer... We should just call customer service live during the show.
We should. This would be a customer service moment.
Walked in today. Bink was on the phone with customer service. I don't know. The TV was working fine, Bink.
The second half just started.
But it just went off.
Drew's got it on his TV.
I know.
What happened to ours?
Because these are different. These are weird. I've told you that. These are insane.
Bink.
It already went blank. I was just trying to get it back on.
What happened, Drew?
It's 1-0. Messi just got tackled. I think his leg got clipped a little bit.
Is he all right?
Yeah, I think he's fine. Yeah, his leg got clipped a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, a superstar gets hurt like that.
I mean, he's not hurt.
Text line asks, "Where's Cody?" If you missed it last week, he's gone for 2 weeks total. This is the second week. He was always scheduled off. Yeah, he's got vacation.
He's at the Argentina game in Dallas.
I don't know which week he's going to Dallas for part of the trip for his daughter's dance competition. He's talked about on the show before. I don't know if that was last week or this week, but he'll be back on Monday. So Binks with me today and tomorrow. Logan Wednesday and Friday. And as I said, Thursday, we don't have a show. The Royals have an odd 11 a.m. game in Tampa. 11 a.m. It's bizarre.
It was odd not for them to play Saturday. I kept looking for the Royals
games.
It's been a weird, don't forget they're not playing.
Weird scheduling week, honestly. It really has been. All right, let's talk some Chiefs football, Bink. ESPN went through for every NFL team and predicted their last, not their next, their last offseason move. And for the Chiefs, they said the Chiefs sign wide receiver Deebo Samuel. Not Stephon Diggs, not Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, who did have over 700 yards last year for the Washington Commanders. I just think this is a move that would have helped the team more a year or two ago. His role, I feel like if you're saying you want to be able to line him up in a variety of spots, and we know Deebo, how physical he is, he can be right up in the backfield and act as a running back. One, you have Kenneth Walker now. Two, Xavier Worthy, they'll already have him on jet sweeps and in motion out of the backfield. I don't need Deebo Samuel at this point in time. That's not me saying that I think the receiver room is amazing. I just don't know if he's the right type for Kansas City. Maybe you disagree. I would be more interested if the knee's right, and it's the big question, and Tyreek Hill coming back. I think he could help the team more if, in fact, he's good to go. Stephon Diggs, I get the character questions there, but from a wide receiver perspective, I think he would help this team more. But he's also probably going to cost more than the other two names I told you.
I just think they're in not great shakes with any of them, to be honest with you. I just don't see a fit, especially since they're after OTAs, after mandatory minicamp. Sure, maybe you get a camp guy going into training camp if you're not happy with the way the wide receiver room is now. Stephon Diggs, 32, going to be 33 during the season. Deebo Samuel's yards after catch is diminished from what he used to be. Yes, a young Deebo Samuel would have been absolutely perfect in Kansas City. Always said that. Like, I can imagine what a young Deebo Samuel would have done in an Andy Reid offense. The fact of doing stuff in the backfield, the slot, from the outside, from everything, but he's just not that same player anymore. So, yes, you get the name, you get the player to go along with it, and no, you don't. And I just think it's a real stretch with any of them. Tyreek Hill, obviously the connection makes sense because the Chiefs love bringing people back. Just had to accept that it's what they do, and it's hard to argue with the success they've had bringing either coaches and or players back to the team. It's just not the MO I'd kind of go with getting the team, but they do it to a lot of success, so it's hard to argue with it. I just don't know the condition of Tyreek Hill. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
There's 32 teams in the NFL that are all curious kind of about the same thing. Does he still get the speed element to go with it? How's he recuperating from the injury? So I understand it's an attractive thing. What do? You look at Kansas City, they need that type of receiver, but it's the big unknown with Tyreek Hill. Yes, you think of a player like that who was number one player in the NFL, 2 years ago in the NFL top 100. But what player are you getting at this point? That's the huge question.
And as you know, this was not just an ACL injury for Tyreek Hill. I mean, anybody that watched that was a Dolphins-Broncos game, I think is when it happened, right? It was like Monday Night Football or something.
It's horrible.
It was ugly. And, there was a reporting back in March that if he had to pass a physical then, he probably couldn't. Now, it's June. Can he pass one now? Can he pass one in October? Is he a midseason acquisition? They did list the Commanders as the team signing Tyreek Hill here. Again, this is the final offseason move for every team that they predicted. For the Chiefs, it was Deebo. For the Commanders, it was Tyreek Hill. And then in the Chiefs division, they had the Raiders signing Stephon Diggs, which actually does make a lot of sense for the Raiders.
It does.
With that receiver room, you have Mendoza, you're trying to bring him along. I understand the questions about the character stuff, but remember, the NFL came out a week ago and said, basically, they concluded their investigation and essentially said they're not suspending Stephon Diggs.
And it's not a long-term answer. It'd be somebody for this year.
They'd sign Stephon Diggs to a one-year deal, but they have like Trey Tucker, Dante Thornton, and Jalen Naylor in that Raiders receiver room. That's not a whole lot of help for your rookie quarterback if, in fact, he starts week one. And can you give him something to go with Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty?
That's the thing. I mean, the Raiders have the pieces except for the wide receiver position. They hope they have the answer at the quarterback position going forward in the future. But it's interesting to watch some of these teams in the division. The Raiders are definitely one of them. Can they piece it together, or is it going to be too long? Is it going to be too long before Mendoza develops? Then all of a sudden, you've got Ashton Genty. Is he still going to be the same guy in 4 years from now, or how long it takes Mendoza to do it? So you think of these pieces. That's why it's so smart to get the quarterback first and put the pieces around him. And they're clearly not doing it that direction in Vegas.
What do you make of some of the other predictions here on the same article, off-season moves? The Giants, they predicted they will trade Kayvon Thibodeau. That's the last move they're saying. No, they're not saying where. They're just saying, hey, final year of his contract.
That pass rush is so ridiculous. That I can't believe they just not keep him, just have an embarrassment of riches. But
I guess it's just to get something out of him because he's a free agent. But I told you.
They're loaded there.
They're loaded. They're my dark horse to be a surprise division winner. Last year was Seattle. This year my pick is the Giants. I'm a little nervous, though, if they trade Kayvon Thibodeau, what that does to that defense who already moved on and traded to Drew's Bengals, Dexter Lawrence. So I don't know. That's their prediction there. And then another one, they have the Bears signing former Charger Joey Bosa, I guess former Buffalo Bill now too, Joey Bosa, to add to their pass rush there. Maybe a guy that they could just bolster for. The Bears are thinking they're going to the Super Bowl, right? They had a big push last year, and they're trying to take that next step. And then another veteran edge rusher, the Packers signing Jadeveon Clowney. That would be the other prediction that they put.
The one guy that I thought could have been a fit scheme-wise, culture-wise, everything else is back with the Saints and Cam Jordan. That would have been the one right there on the opposite side of the ball on defense rather than offense. I just don't see a ton of offensive weapons. You could say, bring that guy into Kansas City. Do I think it's a position of need, something they desperately needed? Absolutely. But you're past the draft, past the first couple of waves of free agency. At this point, you just throw up your hands and say, can it really help the team at this point? I just don't see any of these three helping the Chiefs offense.
I still think if I ranked them out and I said who's most likely to help them the most if they got signed, Diggs, Hill, Debo, I still think I would put Diggs number 1, Hill 2, and Debo 3. And
2 and 3 is where we kind of.
Yeah, it's tough. It is the health for Hill. It's the massive question there.
If he's fine, he available? Put him at 1.
I guess I just assume if the Chiefs sign him, it means they think that he's fine. I guess you know what I mean.
If he's fine, he'd be 1. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you,
for you, he would be
if he's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
which I don't know if he is.
I still think even if he's capable of playing football, I don't think there's any scenario where Tyreek Hill is the same player. I just don't know how you're the same that quickly after injury. Maybe he passes his physical. Maybe he's still quick, but the reason why Tyreek Hill, the amazing route runner, that kind of explosiveness, I don't know how he gets that back immediately. But we know he wants to sign here. I mean, it's the worst kept secret. The guy's out here doing car dealership signings with Chiefs fans in the offseason.
What kind of receiver can he be without that speed? That's the biggest question to me because the drop passes, that's always been part of his game. Hell, that one year he had 1,800 yards in the NFL. He still had like 14 drops that year. Still number 2 in the NFL in drops. I mean, he does drop the passes, but you don't think about it or remember it because he'll go 75 yards on a touchdown and all of it's a race. But what if you aren't doing that anymore?
Yeah.
Does that stuff stand out a lot more? To me, that would be a concern because drop passes have been a concern with the Chiefs and the receiving staff.
Thinking of ESPN in the article, anybody that likes the heyday of ESPN, right, going back to the good old days, you'll appreciate, I guess, this announcement here in the last hour. Longtime SportsCenter anchor Linda Cohn announced she's retiring from ESPN, Bink. That's your gal.
No, it was Henry's gal.
Oh, Henry Lake's gal. Okay.
Henry was he was the one chanting Linda when she'd walk by during 14 and 15.
She was a favorite for many years for a lot of people. She is the longest tenured SportsCenter anchor. 5,500 appearances on ESPN.
55.
She will host her final show on Friday, June 26th. That is this Friday. She has decided to retire.
I'll check in on Henry on that one.
She's one of the OGs.
Yeah, exactly. The good if you love the original SportsCenter days, yeah, absolutely. Who's left?
Scott Van Pelt.
That's it. Right? Am I missing anybody else? That's it, isn't it?
Well, Berman's still around.
I know,
a little bit.
He isn't hosting anymore.
He just does. Yeah, he just hops on once every 3 months or something.
Yeah.
Everybody else is
SVP's
gone,
the best. SVP's incredible.
SVP.
But yeah, Linda Cohn definitely brings back good memories of when SportsCenter was must watch because you didn't have social media clips and highlights. Like now, it's just SportsCenter isn't must watch. It hasn't been for a while because most of the stuff we already have the information and have already seen the video of it. SVP, the reason why SVP, not only is he amazing at what he does, I love his Sports Center because it's right after, right? It's right after Monday Night Football ends, or it's right after the finals, and it's fresh and it's instant reaction.
It's still a big deal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Someone says, my favorite ESPN talent's Diana Rossini. Somebody said.
It's true.
She was employed by the Athletic.
Aren't they talking about moving SVP to like 5 o'clock or something like that? They've talked about moving into earlier slots.
I think he was in the earlier slot before, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think that's been one of the talks.
I mean, I guess if we include non-Sports Center people, basically not Linda Cohn retiring, Scott Van Pelt, and then you go Kornheiser and Wilbon. I guess those would be the only other names that I would think have been there for 20 plus years at this point that are on air.
Stephen A. too, but yeah.
I guess okay. I don't put him in the same like OG like Sports Center days stuff.
He is an OG,
but he definitely is long tenured. I mean, he's him and Pat McAfee are the face of the network now. That's very clear. I saw
Michael Collins has been there a ton for a very long time.
Okay.
But it's spotty.
Steve Levy still does stuff with
Michael
ESPN?
Collins, and then who am I thinking? I'm thinking of the Eves. Mike Eves, I thought, was there too.
Michael Eves?
Yeah, I like him.
Well, he was in L.A. for a while.
He's been there for a bit. I think he's very good.
Yeah, Michael Eves, they moved over from ESPN LA, but like Steve Levy and John Butchergross are still doing stuff, but it's not Sports Center anchoring.
Michael Collins is the America's Caddy. He's the one that's always the funny.
Michael Collins has been there forever. He's been there for a long time.
So now we're going to reporters and stuff. Yeah.
Steve Levy and
Ed Warder's now gone, right? So
no, I mean just Michael Collins is a reporter, not an anchor.
Ed Warder's been gone for a couple years now.
Yep.
Schefter's been there.
Feels like
he's been there a long
16, 17 years.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, congrats to Linda Cohn retiring from ES Friday, her last Sports Center.
Yeah. Steve Levy now and
John Butchergross doing the hockey only, but they're still there.
Baseball. Who's doing the College World Series? Carl Ravitch.
Carl Ravitch has been there for a minute.
He has been there. Someone says, don't forget about Mike Greenberg.
Yeah, Greeny's been there.
Greeny, yeah.
He's got obviously that show. He was Mike and Mike previously. We all know that. But yeah, that's true. There's more than we think, I guess. But from the Sports Center anchor originals, Linda Cohn's basically it. And she's stepping away and retiring. All right, coming up next, guys, we'll get to what's trending. I know something that you and Drew were locked in a little bit to over the weekend. Bink thinks it's a good thing for golf. And tomorrow's the NBA draft. We'll take a quick look at a mock draft because we could have a Kansas Jayhawk going number 1 overall. We could also have another local kid going in the first round. We'll get to that next.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 22nd, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
Feeling the squeeze of high prices? Then stretch your budget this Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee. Stock up and save big with 99-cent deals throughout the store. Get special recipe brats, pork loin ribeye, Dole salad kits, and more for just 99 cents. Fill your cart for less with red-hot deals on hundreds of items. Order online or through the Hy-Vee app and leave the shopping to us. Don't miss the 99-cent sale this weekend only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their match day meat bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
And Doug.
There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no, we help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon, you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell, and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Our American dream is ice cream. Red, White, and Bluebell is our strawberry ice cream loaded with strawberries, alongside creamy vanilla and blueberry ice cream with real blueberries. A full half-gallon of red, white, and blue ice cream. Feel free to celebrate.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at all Price Chopper supermarkets and McKeever's markets.
You know that weird smell your AC makes when you turn it on? Ooh, you really shouldn't. Luckily, you can just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com. If you miss being able to finish a road trip playlist on a road trip, we can help. Just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Even on weekends and holidays, Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric shows up. Expect reliable HVAC plumbing or electric service. Plus, enjoy $500 off a new HVAC system this summer. Schedule your free consultation at AnthonyPHCE.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan, as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on what's trending the news of the day in the sports world, Michigan men's basketball coach, fresh off a national championship, Dusty May, finalizing a deal. He's going to become the next head coach at Dallas, as in the Dallas Mavericks, as in the NBA, to coach Cooper Flagg. Big shocker in the sports world today. And that means there's a vacancy at Michigan. It means that if you were somebody that has a college program you root for, that has a younger coach maybe that is viewed as a top-tier coach in college basketball, once again, you're going to be nervous for a week or so. If you're the Iowa State alum, if you're somebody at St. Louis, for example, you're going to be a little nervous to see if Michigan just promotes from within. We talked about this earlier that, Dusty May, like a lot of the college coaches that have been around the game for a while, a lot of them don't like the current format and the work and the stress that is required to be successful at the college level. And Dusty May won a national championship, and now he's going to go try to win one in the NBA.
The only thing we're guaranteed is confusion with the domino effect. Because 5 days of quiet period, then 15 days to transfer. Guess what? Then the next school, whatever coach they grab, guess what? Those players now become expendable as well, so it creates a lot of confusion. Kansas City Royals had that day off on Saturday, but they did take 2 of 3 from the Cardinals. But the story's been Jack Caglione, white hot, hit 4 home runs his last 3 games, had the 7 RBI, and now the talk is, can he get himself into the home run derby?
Yeah, I think there's a shot. I think there's a shot based off of what he just did. He got 12, as you said, and can he get into the Derby? I think if he gets to 15 or 16, he's at least in play for it. Anything short of 15, I don't think he can get in. But it's dependent on the opt-outs. I think Yordan Alvarez already said he's not planning on doing because he's been hurt a lot, and he's trying to stay healthy. So we know Mike Trout's hurt. We know Aaron Judge is hurt. So there's a chance for it.
What is a Mike Trout hurt?
I know. Well, he has a hamstring injury now.
I know he does.
Looking like he was going to finally stay healthy, but it just happened on Friday, didn't it?
Dusty and I always joke about it because I have an all-hurt team, and they welcomed
you have an all-hurt
Mike Trout back.
Who else is on your all-hurt team?
Well, like guys like Stanton, of course, that's always hurt. Cole Reagan's is teetering on that team himself, but it's a very good team. They look great on media day. They just you can't count on them during the season.
Elsewhere on What's Trending, World Cup slate today. Match number 1 underway. Argentina and Austria. It's 1-0. Messi with his 4th goal of the World Cup. Of course, he had the hat trick right in Kansas City, but it's the 70th minute. We'll see if Austria can tie it up. And then at 4 o'clock today, France and Iraq. Norway, Senegal at 7, and Jordan, Algeria at 10.
Messi became the all-time goal scorer in World Cup history. He tied it at Arrowhead Stadium now. Yeah. He's in front of everybody. College World Series going on today. Oklahoma's been on a heater. They lose to North Carolina yesterday, so the championship game tonight in Omaha. The winner gets the Natty. North Carolina's never won one. Oklahoma's been extremely hot, but they got humbled yesterday losing to North Carolina. I think that's going to be a fun game. I love the College World Series.
Someone was saying, though, that usually goes to the College World Series I was talking to, and based on the tickets, that for whatever reason in Omaha, the interest has not been as great this year. I don't know if that's because we have had so much new blood in Omaha on this, and you would think that'd be a good thing, but in terms of traveling, there's no LSU, there's no, there's not some of these top programs that have been there consistently, and it's led to, there hasn't been as much interest in the ticket. You can go, if you wanted to go and find a ticket fairly cheap, this was the year to go. It's kind of bizarre. It doesn't seem like there's as much noise and buzz around it as
What's
there
that
has
bar
been.
up there that has the Jello shot? Rocco's?
That's where,
But that's always talk on that, like if they get the record or not, but I haven't seen that this
I think it's the World Cup. It's the same reason why the U.S. Open took a backseat.
I think that's exactly right. There just has not been as much interest in some of these summer events while we have the event going on. Yeah, I think that, Drew, I think that's a huge part of it. And I do wonder for Omaha, I mean, LSU and some of these other programs really propped up the World Series there in Omaha, and it just hasn't had the same vibe ticket-wise as well.
It's a definite item for all us huge sports fans.
Yeah. Elsewhere on What's Trending, Kansas City Current Bank have extended forward Timwa Chawinga to a new deal through 2029. She was already under contract through 2028, but look, she's the best player in the league. She is pure entertainment to watch. It is unbelievable, the speed and athleticism on the field. So if you get that opportunity to watch her at the KC Current game, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. She's unreal, so it's so important they were able to get a deal done with her. I believe they'll have a press conference to make it official tomorrow.
Couple of MVPs. It's pretty nice going forward. Giannis expected to be traded for the start of the NBA draft tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Celtics and Heat emerging as finalists to land Giannis. Will he take his talents to South Beach, or will he end up with Boston? I think Boston's where he ends up.
Boston started to heat up. It's been Miami this whole time, and then Boston out of nowhere is kind of picked up again. Plus, they know Jaylen Brown might not mind being moved. It makes some sense.
Got your mock draft ready, Drew?
We have a mock draft, ready.
You have one ready?
I've also got the sounder ready. I feel like we're obligated.
Oh no!
Hey, Gold, you're the one that said I wasn't planning on doing a mock draft. You said we're going to get to a mock draft. I was like, okay, the sounder's ready.
Not that mock draft.
Oh,
it doesn't say NFL mock draft.
Let's do a 27 mock draft.
That's true. You know what? You can hit it. You can hit it because you're right. It's not an NFL mock draft, but tomorrow's the NBA draft, and we could have Darren Peterson maybe go number 1 overall, if not number 2. We could have Bennett Sturts, local kid, go in the first round.
Wagler, top 5 maybe?
Another local connection as well. So there's a lot of ties. I know tomorrow, guys, we're going to have an NBA draft guest on the show. We'll talk more about this and what could play out. But I do want to take a look at one mock draft. Where are we going, Drew, with this? We do have mock drafts, and because
Jeremy Woo over at ESPN.
Okay, Jeremy Woo. Who does he have going number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4? Because I think we all kind of have a good feel of the top 5. We just don't know the order for sure.
So he's got A.J. DeBonsa going to the Wizards at 1. He's got Darren Peterson going 2 to the Utah Jazz. Cam Boozer, number 3 to Memphis. Caleb Wilson, 4 to the Bulls. 5, Keaton Wagler to the L.A. Clippers. The interesting part is
Caleb Wilson to the Bulls is actually a really good pick for them.
Yeah, that one is. He's the best player who's left essentially out of the top guys. I think Darius Acuff's defense, or lack thereof, rather, in this case, is actually the reason why he might not get picked in the top 5.
Remember right after the tournament, Drew, SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament, there were people thinking suddenly Acuff could end up going top 2, top 3.
Yeah, like he was going to. Yeah, if you watch the tournament, that dude was a traffic cone. It didn't matter who they were playing. They were playing like 13 seeded Santa Barbara, and he was getting blown by those guys. So if you got good if you're like the Pistons, I know he's never going to get picked by them, but if you got a good defensive team, then Acuff is actually not a bad option at all whatsoever, but he's going to get picked higher than any of those.
I know tomorrow we'll talk more about Peterson, but all the noise all year, we all know the crazy saga about the cramping, and then they tried to blame it on creatine, and now his team, his camp says he's good to go, and he only talked to the Wizards, and most of the mocks have him going number 2 to the Jazz instead, but then there's, of course, a lot of noise about AJ only wanting to go to stay in Utah. I still not ready to write off entirely that Darren Peterson doesn't go number 1 overall.
I don't think Darren wants to go to Utah. He
He
doesn't want to go there.
I think there's still a chance, despite everything that happened in college. And that's the crazy thing. Despite everything that happened, if Darren Peterson ends up going number 1 overall still, then it's just kind of a reminder once again that ultimately what happened at Kansas was not everybody was concerned about it, but it would not scare off an NFL an NBA team if that's the case, clearly.
Yeah, because the talk right now is that, well, DeBonsa would love to stay in Utah. Darren Peterson says, well, I want to go to Washington or Memphis. I don't want to go to Utah. I'd rather go to Memphis than Utah.
That would get Peterson to slide even more.
Which is why some people have him going to 3 to Memphis Grizzlies, and Cam Boozer would go 2, or maybe even number 1 to the Wizards, depending on how things pan out. I think for Darren Peterson, the place that is best for him is next to another guy that's more the face of the franchise. Not that he's incapable of being a face of a franchise or he's not good, but I think for him and the load on his shoulders, it wouldn't be there if he's with Trae Young. He could just show up and hoop. I think, and not that Darren doesn't have that personality, but in terms of what we've seen from a very basketball-focused individual, that's why I said the Pacers would be a great spot for him. He didn't have to be the guy. If he went to Washington, he wouldn't have to be the guy. It's Trae Young's team. As weird as that might sound, even though he's the number 1 overall pick, he would be 1B or number 2 to Trae Young.
We also, and I think he will still. But remember, Trae Young.
Reports are he will.
He opted out. But most people think he'll come back. But technically, Trae Young is not on the Wizards.
But technically not.
But the thought is that he's just trying to leverage and get a little more money out of the Wizards, and so he opted out, and he thinks they'll be able to come to terms on a deal.
It'll be interesting to see where everything falls and where they end up. I think A.J. DeBonsa is going to be good. I think Darren Peterson will be good too. It's just, I think it would be easier on him from a question standpoint, from a are you ready to go, and all the expectations if he was next to somebody else. It would make it a little bit easier on him. So Keaton Wagler, they have going 5th to the Clippers in this. Again, the Clippers had the pick because the Pacers did not get a top 4 pick.
Ooh, that should have been your squad spot right there, right?
Well, the Pacers were projected to get a number 1 overall pick in terms of percentages. The ping pong balls did not rule in their favor. Some people blame Adam Silver for that, but neither here nor there. The Pacers do not have a pick at all in this NBA draft. So
yikes.
I mean, their team is pretty much already set in stone. Anyways, they're not missing out, and their team's young. Anyways, they'll be okay.
No, but obviously you would have liked to have a top pick.
I mean, if they didn't have a top 4 pick, it doesn't matter what else. It didn't matter. They weren't going to get one if they were, which is why they ended up 5th, and that pick goes to the Clippers. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Kawhi because they got Darius Garland there. So Wagner would likely play shooting guard next to Darius Garland. That would be an interesting fit. I know you mentioned Bennett Sturts. In this mock draft, he could
be a first rounder.
He ends up with the Thunder, unfortunately. Yeah, I think Bennett Sturts is going top 20 for sure.
He goes to the Thunder. How about that? What a potential steal that is as a sharpshooter for them as well of everything else.
The crazy part is as good as he is, like he's a better passer to me than he is a shooter. Like in terms of playmaking, like Shea can be a true shooting guard almost essentially at that point. Can go back to what he was with the Clippers, and Bennett Sturts can just run the show.
Now in this mock draft, it does note though that. The NBA draft, what's crazy is once you get later, like you get all these trades and it gets confusing almost to track everybody. They're saying, at least in Jeremy Wu's projection, that this, even though they could draft Sturts at 17, like that could still be he could still be involved in a trade later. We'll see as the night
there's some rumors.
Goes on.
So the Thunder have the 17th, they have the 12th and 17th pick. They get the 17th one from Philadelphia. So that is the Thunder's pick. They have 17 right now. But there's some rumors that the Warriors could be interested in
but they could trade out of 17,
or the Thunder would trade up from 17 and 12 to go up higher into the top 10. And
but then they wouldn't get Sturts then. So who knows where Sturts
I mean, they might not like Sturts as much as they like Braden Berries or Kingston Flemings. I mean, if they get Kingston Flemings, I mean, that's a great pick, obviously, because Kingston Flemings was rumored to be in that top 5 too. So,
to Atlanta in this mock.
Yeah, that'd be a good spot for him to end up just with what they already have there.
Think you're going to watch this at all tomorrow night? I know tomorrow we'll talk on the show. We'll have a draft guest to give us a little more insight on what they're thinking in Memphis and some of these other spots. I know you love drafts. That's why I'm wondering. Do you watch any? Do you pay attention to mock draft?
For it, no.
You should make a mock tonight of the NBA. I want to see your NBA mock draft. I actually want to see Bink's NBA mock draft before we get on the air tomorrow.
So I can have Jeremiah Smith on it then.
You cannot. But I actually want you to do an NBA mock draft.
Okay.
They got Braden Smith going to the Spurs. That'd be a sneaky pick for them. Even though Braden Smith's older, he'd be a good player to have right away.
Braden Smith from the Colts?
No. From the
local late the South.
Ironically, the same state bank would be the Purdue Boilermakers.
You're the mock draft guy. I think you should year round. You guys do the Character Concerns podcast most of the year. You and Chris and Osero. I think you should do mocks for everything.
We're busy doing a baseball.
I think
we're doing baseball now for the Royals.
That's what I'm saysaying. I think you guys should go ahead, Bink. Just lean in. Do an NBA mock. Do a baseball mock. Do your hot dog Joey Chestnut mock draft somehow. Figure out how to do it. I don't know. That's your guy. That's coming up. Are you excited? Your guy's back, isn't he? In it, despite his
he's in it.
Problems.
Yeah. They needed him back. I mean, he's the show.
He is.
Someone from the 816 said it's wild to me that NBA teams would use a lottery pick on a guy like Peterson that doesn't want to be the guy. I'm not saying he doesn't want to be the guy, but I'm saying in terms of you being able to focus on basketball only and not worry about the off-court stuff, which is all of his freshman year was on-court related, but it became an off-the-court issue where he was asked about it all the time. That's only going to get emphasized more if he's in the NBA and is the face of the franchise. And let's say the hammy does flare up. Then he has to be in front of the media. He's going to get asked it all the time. That's where him being paired up with a guy like Trae Young, or if the Pacers were there with Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam, would be great for him because he wouldn't have to address the media all the time. He wouldn't be the face of the franchise and have that extra quote-unquote pressure on him, for all the other reasons too. So I thought Draymond Green also made a great point regarding players that say, I don't want to play here, so don't draft me. Draymond said Steph Curry told the Warriors, I don't want to play there. He worked out for everybody but the Warriors. Guess who picked him? Golden State Warriors. And it obviously panned out pretty well. So just because in the NBA somebody says, I don't want to play there, does not mean an NBA team. NFL teams might, but NBA teams will not necessarily avoid that. Ace Bailey, same sort of rumor where he didn't want to go to Utah. He was drafted by Utah, and things seem to be fine with him in Salt Lake City.
From the betting end, and as I keep saying, tomorrow we'll focus more on it, but AJ DeBonce is minus 600 to go number 1 overall. Darren Peterson 5-1. Cam Boozer 40-1.
You going to bet on that?
If I had to bet an exacta, I would say DeBonce, Boozer, Peterson is how I would go 1, 2, 3.
Darren Peterson at 5-1. I'm not saying he clearly should not be the favorite. At 5-1, it's tempting. I still think there is a scenario where he goes. I don't think it's even like a 5%. I think there's a 15 to 25% chance that Darren Peterson still goes number 1 overall. It's not a great opportunity. Back in December, it was a 80% chance, that he was going to go number one. And now we're talking about a 10 to 15% chance. Cam Boozer 40 to 1. I think you're.
I didn't ask you, did you bet on the NFL draft because you were gone?
What's that?
What are Pennsylvania laws on sports betting?
I did not bet while I was in Pennsylvania. I think it's legal. I didn't.
Because some states don't do the props like that. Like Kansas, you can do it. Missouri, you can't for the draft.
Yeah, I actually, when we were in Pittsburgh, we didn't.
I know it sounds silly, but the mock draft sounders, 27 draft is pretty special. I assume Drew will be rolling that
the 2027 NBA mock draft.
No, the NFL draft.
Oh, okay.
I assume Drew will get the siren going in September. Sooner. So September, October, you'll start to hear mock draft sounders.
You're doing an MLB mock draft? Is that serious? Are you really doing that?
Bink, we're
Always
not.
do.
Bink, we're
I got
not.
4 of them.
If we're doing a mock draft sounder in October or September, then that's probably not a good thing for the Kansas City Chiefs, I would say.
It would have definitely changed the
it's
positioning of the draft.
That's a problem.
For me, I wouldn't be devastated. I suppose I'm not a Chiefs fan, so it would just be whatever to me. But for Gold and for Cody, they would be devastated if September and October we were hearing the mock draft.
Drew
sounders.
knows the mock draft sounder NFL wise not allowed until we're in the year of the actual draft taking place. Right. So when the calendar turns to January, then it might be early, but at least it's the year of the draft. The draft is not taking place in this current calendar year, so we got to wait until we get to.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
but if the
this
Chiefs,
is a special
it's
draft.
not going to happen. But if the Chiefs do start 2-7, then I think we need a mock draft sounder.
You can still do it anyway. Just pick who's going 32.
No, it's not.
You think
now.
the Chiefs are going to win?
Nobody wants to hear about the draft in December when your team's on its way to winning a division or something.
Bink, you think people are worried about the mock draft in September? People would rather their team win than see the U.S. win the World Cup.
Well, you can start talking about pick
And that's
31,
happening right
32,
now.
whatever. You can start talking some Nick Marsh, into the draft type deal, first round.
Based on the Chiefs' history, they're not going to take a wide receiver in the first round unless they,
I think they might have to. We'll see, they might have to.
Indiana, by the way, is loaded at wide receiver in college
I know
football
they are. I know the Raiders should get Charlie Becker. If they're smart,
Nick
they would try to
Marsh,
pair somebody up with him, with Fernando. Unless the guy is under 6 feet tall or 6 foot or lower or shorter, the Chiefs aren't going to take him in the first round, as we've seen it from.
Yeah, Nick Marsh is
here in
too
the
big
first two
for him.
rounds. Yeah, that's right. He's a little too tall.
Whatever. By the way, what happened in the end of this first match? Bank broke the TVs again. So
it is 1-0. It's 1-0 still. Argentina's still up. 85th minute right now.
Okay.
Still some time.
Is it 1-0 or 1-0?
1-0.
It's 1-0. Bank. Messi, the only goal. He's got 4, as we said.
Messi
in the entire tournament. France. I can't wait to watch Mbappe though. Coming up at 4:00. France and Iraq.
They're gonna hang probably 6 or 7 goals on.
They are minus 1,000
on Iraq
against Iraq.
Yep,
minus 1,000. France is one of the best teams in the world. So
what are the odds, by the way, on Messi goals? It's got to be
for what?
Just any game he plays. What's for a Messi goal or something?
I think 1.5 is what the odds were for today.
Right now in live betting, if you think he's going to get another goal randomly too, you can.
He probably will.
He was minus
13 to 1.
Goal,
if you think in the final 10 to 15 minutes he's going to get another goal, 13 to 1.
Here you go. Let's bet it.
Yeah, I mean the chance that they're already up 1-0. I don't know if he's getting another goal or not. Why don't you go for it, Bank?
I might.
What about Mbappe to get a goal?
That's your guy.
I do. He's fun to watch. Mbappe.
He's definitely minus money to get a goal today based on who they play.
I would think. Goal scorer.
What about Erling Haaland?
First goal. He's plus 220 actually, Drew. To score the first goal. Anytime goal is minus 230. It's not even bettable. He's such a favorite.
Haaland's probably like plus 105 or minus 105 maybe, Bink.
I think Haaland's going to get a goal today.
Haaland, they're playing Senegal, who's really good. That match is going to be really even. That might be the best match of the day, actually.
I'll take Haaland for a goal
anytime
today.
goal, he's minus 105.
Okay.
To get just anytime goal.
Okay.
If you